be to Allah. Let's go ahead and stand for a quick prayer before we start. Bow our hands and our feet, 45-degree angle, our hands outstretched as we ought to receive. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Most Merciful. Surely they turn to thee, O Allah, trying to be upright, to him who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not from among the polytheists. Surely my prayer and my sacrifice, my life and my death are all for Allah, the Lord of the world. No associate has thee, in this I am commanded, I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King, there is no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my fault. So grant me protection against all of my faults, for none can grant protection against faults with thee. And guide me to the best of morals, for none can guide me to the best of morals but thee. And turn away from me the evil and the indecent morals, for none can turn away from me the evil and the indecent morals but thee. And, O Allah, make Muhammad successful, and make the true followers of Muhammad successful, as thou had made Abraham and the true followers of Abraham successful. For surely thou art praiseworthy and magnified. And, O Allah, bless Muhammad, and bless the true followers of Muhammad, as thou had blessed Abraham and the true followers of Abraham. For surely thou art praiseworthy and magnified. Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. Praise be to Allah. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. I greet you all the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. How's everyone doing tonight? All praises due to Allah. Give yourself a round of applause for being here tonight. All praises due to Allah. We're going to hear tonight from our brother Ben X. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's the man y'all came here to see. So before we bring him up, we're actually going to bring up our student regional minister first, but I want to let those who are maybe here for the first or second time just know a few things about how we operate here in Mosque number 12. This is our new building, of course, so we're no longer down the street. So if you see any flyers for events, this is where you want to go. Every Sunday at 11 a.m., we have a meeting upstairs, all right, for our general public, male and female. We want you to come out tomorrow to hear from our brother Ben X. Is that right? Praise be to Allah. And our student regional minister, Roddy Muhammad, speaks every Sunday, and we want you to bring your friends and your family. In the time that we're living in now, the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is paramount. It's guidance that will prepare us for the time and prepare our families for what we need to do to be successful today. So we invite you here every Sunday at 11 a.m. Also, every Wednesday night, we're also here at 7 o'clock. All right, it used to be 7:30. We're here at the mosque Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, and Minister Roddy will speak. Certain student ministers will also be speaking from the class. But again, it's just a way to keep us on track throughout the week. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. So as we get ready to hear from our student regional to bring up Brother Ben X, I just want to thank you all for being here. Before you go, please make sure you get something to eat on the way out. Get that Final Call newspaper. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
If you've never read the Final Call newspaper, the words of Minister Farrakhan, some of those articles were written 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
But as you read those articles, it's like it's happening right now.
That's right.
Anybody bear witness?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. We have some food also for you and other things. So whenever we come here, we do for self. We circulate that black dollar. Is that right? If we're going to build a nation, we're going to have to start loving each other. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That means we're going to have to start sharing. Is that right? We're going to have to start building. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad did not want a nation of beggars. He wanted a nation of builders.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right.
He said, put down that change bucket. Pick up your bed. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
What did Jesus say? Pick up your cross, huh? And follow me.
Yes, sir.
Huh? He said, we should get fired up today.
Yes, sir.
We should be fired up today and get up from our enemy's gate. Get up from the gate of America, asking them to do something for us when we have the power to do for ourselves. All praises due to Allah. So this is the time that we're in. But in order to do for ourselves, we have to learn how to do for ourselves. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Because the schools didn't teach us. Sometimes our parents and grandparents didn't teach us. So we have teachers here today. We have a teacher here today, pardon me, who's raising up students to come before us to bring a message from the national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Messiah in our midst today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Messiah is one that comes to save. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But we got to have the power to save ourselves. We got to have the power to save our families and our communities. And it starts with simply learning a knowledge of self. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
There's still some motion here, so we're going to keep it going. But again, we really appreciate you coming tonight. You could have been anywhere. You may have had a long day getting here, but I guarantee you would not be disappointed on your way out. All praise is due to Allah. As we see our guest speaker. Give him a round of applause. He's coming a long way for us today. All praise is due to Allah. So, are we ready to bring him on? Bring you in. Yes, sir. All right. At this time, brothers and sisters, put your hands together for the student regional minister here in the Delaware Valley, Minister Dr. Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you all. Thank you. In the name of Allah, came to us in the person of Master God Muhammad, and praise is due forever. In the name of his exalted servant, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, his messenger Messiah, to us and to their student, servant, and apostle, but our leader, teacher, and guide, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet us all again with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Those words, if you don't know, simply mean peace be unto you. And we certainly need peace in our communities, don't we? Yes, sir. We are thankful to Almighty God for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and it gives me this rare, golden, and historic opportunity to be able to serve him in such a very, very special way. We are in a new location here in Germantown Avenue, and so we welcome all of you to be with us. And for those that will bless us with your presence tomorrow for our mosque meeting, our mosque is on the second level, and we use both levels for any overflow or people watching from the lower level as opposed to the upper level. But we hope you can come out and bless us and be with us tomorrow also. We're talking today about a servant of God. You probably saw on the advertisement, and it said Joshua, the generation of promise. And a lot of us may not know about the account of what took place in the book of Numbers. But in the book of Numbers, the people who had been freed from Pharaoh's rule and grip went through the wilderness and saw spectacular acts of faith on behalf of their God. And when it got time to cross over, and actually God is ready now to fulfill his promise, all they had to do was General Order Number 1. Some don't know that, but it means take charge of this post and all temple property in view. And they were told, go in the land that flows with milk and honey and possess it. They went in, but some people felt that their mosque wasn't represented or their temple wasn't represented. So everybody wanted a representative that came directly from their tribe. And they went in to the land that flowed with milk and honey. And when they came back to give a report, the Bible says 10 of the 12 had an evil report. Evil's translated negative. They said, yes, it's all according to what has been promised to our fathers. Everything that God said was there, but what we didn't know is there were some giants in the land. And surely these men are powerful, and we cannot overcome them. So 2 out of the 12 rose up and spoke a word of faith. One was Caleb, and the other was Joshua. And they said, the same God. The same God. If I was in the church, I'd tell everybody, say same God. But the same God that delivered us from Pharaoh and Pharaoh's army, surely he's able to back us up in this instruction. We can go in the land with this God, and surely we can possess it. But the negativity was so strong that the Bible says when they heard the evil report, this the believers now, it caused their heart to melt. And I pondered over that scripture for some years, just trying to figure out what that meant. And I said, why didn't I get it it meant their heart ain't in it no more. They're right there now, and it's time to cross over into the land flowing with milk and honey, and they've lost all heart for the mission. And what they didn't want was, once they had lost faith, the last thing they wanted to hear was somebody speaking a word of faith. So when Caleb and Joshua spoke a word of faith that the God of Moses would be with them and they would be triumphant in this new land, they said, "Come, let us stone them to death." So the generation of promise was not the same generation that left Egypt with Moses being delivered from Pharaoh. The generation of promise became another, for the Lord said, "I will not punish these people except that those that spoke a word out of faith, they're going to wander in the wilderness. They will never set their foot in the land flowing with milk and honey." And so the wilderness is a lonely place. The wilderness is a place where there can be a whole lot of people and you still feel lonely. The wilderness is a place where a whole lot of people look like they're doing something, but you're there and you're not reaping the benefits of what others are reaping. The wilderness is a place of great testing. I want to read something, because tonight we're going to talk about some dollars and cents. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in his book, Message to the Black Man, look what he says. "No nation will ever respect us as long as we beg for that which we can do for ourselves." So trying to get other people to like you and accept you, you'll never be accepted when you can do something for yourself and you're going to someone else to do that which you can do for yourself. And I want you to take this and personalize it, how you welcome people who, when you see them coming, you know that they want something from your work and effort, but you never see them doing anything for themselves. But they need a handout from you every time you see them. You find yourself trying to dodge those kind of people. Soon they'll be dodging us on this planet because they know we should be able to do something for ourselves. Look what he says. "There has never been a leader of our people who went all out to set up an economic plan for our people. I use the saying of Jesus, all before me were thieves and robbers. There are millions of your dollars lying in the white man's banks doing nothing for anyone. Put these millions of dollars to work buying farmland, since this is the... Does that sound like hate? Okay. Just, because see, now they'll say you're talking hate teaching because you want to take your money out of the bank that white folks on and put it somewhere to use where you can benefit your own people. Does that sound like hate? Because when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talks this way, they want to accuse him of being a hate teacher. If we hate anything, we hate being poor. We hate being raggedy. We hate struggling day and night and coming up with nothing and liking the devil because he gives us nothing. So put these millions of dollars to work buying farmland, since this is the basis of independence. Look at this. Raise cotton, corn, wheat, rye, rice, chicken, cattle, and sheep. The sheep will clothe us with its wool and feed us with its flesh. The cow will also serve as food for us, as well as his hide being used in making shoes, belts, jackets, coats, hats, because you run into Macy's. The cotton will be woven into cloth, so you at Bed Bath & Beyond getting sheets and pillowcases. Remember how America once had the spinach yarn to make clothes by a spinning wheel. Today, if you have the money, you can buy machines which will weave and print thousands of yards of cotton goods per day. Do you say that you cannot do it? The white man is not preventing you from doing these things. Let me say that again. The white man, so if you're sitting around talking about what white folks won't let you do, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is making it clear. No one is stopping us from doing this but ourselves. The The white man is not preventing you from doing these things. He has made textile mills. Look at this. He will help you and even weave your clothes at his own mills for a price. We can cobble our own shoes. The white man will sell us the machines. In fact, he will sell us almost anything to help us manufacture what we need. So we got to stop pointing the finger at him saying he won't let you do this. No, we're not allowing ourselves to do it. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us about a nurse that had a needle that you could shove in the brain. Do you realize a needle is a perfect weapon because you can hide the weapon inside the victim? And you'll be looking at what took this person's life, what made them stumble and fall, and the needle is hidden right up there in the brain. So the metaphorical needle that killed our spirit to work together, that killed our spirit to want advancement and only want a job, when that needle is in you, nobody else can see that somebody has murdered you. So when they see us stumbling and they're looking from other countries around the world, they don't say who did that to them. They say, what's wrong with them? Why are they stumbling now? But they don't realize a 6-inch needle is in our brain. We can cobble our own shoes. The white man will sell us the machines. In fact, he'll sell almost anything. Last part. You must first go to the farms, till the earth, produce your own food, build the stores and the warehouses to preserve your food throughout the seasons. We just are not trying to do anything for self. And the messenger says, I have repeated until my throat is dry. One day America will not be able to carry this entire nation of then 22 million black people on her belt. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, Pharaoh has told us that we have to make our bricks with no straw. In other words, you got to start learning how to make a living out of nothing and rub those nickels together. And the last part that I want to show of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has said, because we live in a society where the educational system dumbs us down, the economic system makes us poor, the health system makes us sick, and the prison system turns us into criminals. The family services system is breaking up our families, not helping us to keep our families together, and the religious system is sending us all to hell. Not a hell that's in the ground. We're living that hell right now, and we're experiencing that right now. So I'm closing out with something the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. By the help of Allah, I have and I will still prove to you that Allah God has given me the only solution to our problems here under this race of merciless devils. If you can prove to me, I want you to hear what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put out for all. If you can prove to me that you have a better solution for the future of our nation, I will bring my followers and myself and join you. However, if the solution given to me from Almighty Allah is best, you come and your followers and you join me. That's the call today. Let's find the best program. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said at the Millions More movement, no one organization has all the answers, but the entire black nation of people belong to one God. And when a man can get all of our people, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said of his servant, through you, Farrakhan, I will get all of my people. Well, those people come with ideas. They come with skill sets. They come with resources where we can begin. We've always had more than enough. We just don't want to have each other. And when we don't have each other, we can't bring that together that we need to come out of. So I'm ready to talk some dollars and cents. And it's not all about money. Money is just a result of having the right thinking and being on the right course in life. So we've brought a spectacular brother. He has been called out by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan more than once in the public because he has a large following and he's talking about making money, but he doesn't talk about making money and hide the name Farrakhan. He's putting Minister Farrakhan's name out there, and those that don't know the minister, they come to know of the minister through our own brother Ben X. So as he's setting up to give us some of his PowerPoint and some of the things that he has set up, I want you to know that we want you out tomorrow with us. He's going to be with us again. They had a spectacular night out in New Jersey last night, in Willingboro, New Jersey. We thank our study group out there. And, you don't have to leave your organization. You don't have to leave your church. You don't have to leave whatever you belong to. And after the Million Man March, it was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan who said, you should belong to some. The hell that black people are catching. No black man should be out here by themselves belonging to nothing. You should belong to something. If it's a fraternity, if it's an organization, if it's a church, if it's something, but you should not be out here chilling in these United States of America with the hell that your people are catching. So join something. And if you don't have nothing to join, come join the FOI and be a part of the Fruit of Islam. Because if you ain't living right, you're going to lose the money anyway. And they have a concept that they have found out now. If you don't have the mental capacity, God will only give you what he already knows you can manage. So I don't know what we're asking him for, but if you're asking him for too much, there's a reason you're not getting it, because he's not going to give you more. God doesn't bless you with something just for you to lose it. So, it's better to come and be developed by knowledge that God has given. And if you're faithful over little, God knows that he has prepared you and cultivated you to be faithful over much. Are you all ready to hear from our brother? All the way from Texas, Dallas, Texas, our own. Come on, put your hands together. Mosque number 12, Philadelphia, Delaware Valley. Brother Ben X, come on.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I'd like to greet all of you all with the greeting words of peace. We said in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. Thank everyone in the mosque and everybody who's here today. If y'all don't mind giving yourselves another round of applause. For those who see the pen and the paper laying down, please pick it up, write your name on it, write the date on it, because I don't intend on this being a lecture per se. I want this to be interactive. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that self-improvement is the basis for community development. And as the brother was saying, if we're not spiritually developed and mentally developed, no matter what somebody teaches us about economics, we're going to lose it. So they say a fool and his money will soon part. So go ahead and write your name and the date on it. Now, before we get started, I'm going to start off with this clip. And I got a few clips of the minister, so just be taking notes. And don't lose the notepad this time. I'm known for losing my notes, so keep this one. So it's not going to play the audio? While we're waiting on him to set that up, can you raise your hand if you currently own a business and run a business? Raise your hand. If you have a desire to run or own a business, raise your hand. If you just want to stay on your job, raise your hand. If you ain't got no job like Tommy and you just want to stay like that, raise your hand. Okay.
Life is all.
All right, there we go. All right, just hit present at the top. Mm-hmm. Hit present right there. Yep.
The living with a problem. A problem that will make you or break you. But as Brother Ishmael has been preaching for a few weeks now, you were made to conquer whatever life presents. You did it when you were sperm. How come you think you can't do it now? Emitted into a hostile environment with a competition of 100 million to 1 billion other sperms who had the same thing in mind. We got to fertilize that egg. And when you made it, and I made it, and we made it, we were ready to come forth into life and face anything that life presents. And with the mind of a conqueror and the Spirit of God, anything that came our way in order to get where we are today, we had to conquer. You are a generation that is born from ancestors that came through the roughest of times, the hardest of trials, the depth of privation. Our ancestors died longing for a generation that would come forth, that would not bend, would not bow, would not scratch when they don't itch, but stand tall.
All right. So, my first question is, raise your hand again if you want to. Well, let me ask it this way. How many of y'all have a job? Raise your hand. I should have started here. Now, if you have a job and you tired of going to this job, raise your hand. I'm going to raise both of mine. This is from a couple years ago. So, the way that I got started, well, one of the ways that I got started, I was working at FedEx one day. And as I was working at FedEx, man, anybody ever worked at a warehouse job? All right. So I'm throwing all those boxes on the truck one day. And as I'm throwing all these boxes on the truck, I'm having this thought in my mind. I said, man, if I throw 1,000 more boxes on the truck next week and I go 10 times harder, my paycheck still going to be the same. But if I have my own product, my own service, my own business, and I was doing for self, the more productive I am and the more I do, the more money I make. So I said, man, I think it's important for me to go ahead and do something for myself. Now, around that time, I was working as a temp. They call it temp season at the warehouse. So brother came around December 28th after Christmas and said, man, we're going to be laying off the temp people. Now, here I am. I'm listening to the teachings. The minister saying debt is slavery. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying do for self or suffer the consequences. So when he told me that, I said, man, I'm firing my boss before he fired me. So the next day, I didn't go in. I doubled down on my YouTube channel. And from then on, I ain't went back and had a job since. I'm up to over 39 million views and been doing for self for over 6 years now. So I'm just saying that to say, man, I was just like y'all. Tired, man. Going to work miserable. Don't want to be there. Don't want to get up in the morning. But I know I got to pay bills. So I'm feeling like I'm enslaved to the job, right? So yeah, I'm not a physical slave, but now I feel like I kind of am, because now I'm enslaved to this idea of having to pay bills or else I'm going to be homeless, X, Y, and Z. So my question is, raise your hand if you got the job and you need a way, or you looking for a way to get out of that job eventually, starting a business. Raise your hand. Keep your hand up. Now, everybody, keep your hand up. Now, everybody with your hands down, that means y'all already working y'all dream job and y'all got y'all dream business? Everybody with your hands down. Okay. So, brother right there with the jean jacket on, how much money do you want to make? What's your goal of making per month?
Per month, like you said, man, as much as I can actually put towards and put into my business. So as much as I put into myself is how much I want to make money. Enough to be successful and comfortable with my family.
Now, that sounds real good, but the question is, how much do you want to make per month? And I'm doing this on purpose because many of us will say, man, I just want to make more money. Well, if I give you $10, that's more money. So what is the goal? Let's be specific, because as we guys, right, we come to the mosque and we go to work, and we guys, the Bible say, man, ye are all guys, right? The scriptures say, don't you know that you are the real temple of God and that the Spirit of God dwells within you? So the same way God is able to say be, kun fa kun, and it is, we got that same capability. We do it with women. Let you find a sister that you like. You gonna kun fa kun your way on over there, ain't you? You ain't got no car, you're going to find a way. You ain't got enough money to go out, you're going to find a way. So now let's look at how we take that same mindset and apply it to ourselves. So what's the number that you want to make per month?
I want to go at least 100K because I plan to make 7 figures.
Okay, at least 100K. Give it up for him, 100K. Who else had the hand raised? Don't keep it down now. I seen one brother, he ain't raised his hand again. Brother right there with the gray. Okay. So I heard 100, 25, and 10. So he kind of confused now. So we got to help him. Okay, based on what you want to be, when you wake up in the morning, I'm not asking what do you think, comfortable, what do you think based on, I'm saying what do you want to make every month, starting whenever? 25. We're going to start with 25. One more person who had their hand raised. Go ahead, brother. Between 10 and 20,000. Got it. Now, here's the question for everybody who didn't raise their hand. Are you doing what it takes? Is your actions lining up with 100,000 per month? Yes or no? Is our actions adding up with 50K per month? Yes or no? So, being it is not abracadabra, as the minister teaches us. It's not be Bentley outside. Look in the mirror. I want a Bentley. I want a Bentley. I have a Bentley. Now that's good. That's good to start the process of the law of attraction. But now we have to line our actions up with the money that we want to make. So if we have a business and we're saying, how many of y'all ever feel like you got a business, you just not getting enough sales, man? Not enough people support me. Anybody ever felt like you got a lack of support from family, a lack of support from, see, now them hands going up now. So now I want to ask us, how many people do we call on a daily basis? See, I'm talking about action steps now, practical things. We can take notes if you want to. So listen, I done seen somebody say, man, nobody support me. I said, man, how many people you tell about it? 10 people. I said, damn, it's 100,000 plus people in your city. How you going to say your city don't support you? You don't only talk to 10 people. How doesn't your city support you only talk to 50 people? And when you talk to them, how are you bringing it to them? You talking about my granny don't support my music. Bro, you talking about rapping and killing, and granny don't listen to that type of music. She's the wrong target audience. So I want y'all to write this down as we go to the next step. What is your gift? Write that down. Everybody should be writing that down. What is your gift? Because that $100,000, that $10,000, that $20,000 is somewhere on the other side of our gift. Because I never read it say, a job gonna make room for us. I didn't read that. I didn't read the Bentley. I didn't even read it say followers gonna make room for you. It says your gift, a man's gift, make it room for him. Now, have y'all heard that scripture before? Raise your hand. If you heard that, your gift will make room for you. But what I hear people all the time leave out is the second part where it says, and bringeth him before great men. Anybody want to probably add on to why you think it say bring him before great men? Anybody want to comment? See, this is not a lecture. I want to do some dialogue. Y'all agree with that? So oftentimes the reason many of us can't discover our gift because we trying to be like Brother James. I'm trying to be like Sister Kim. I'm seeing her successful. I'm seeing him successful. But instead of me focusing on my gift, I'm looking at him trying to be like him when I'm the asset. Write this down. You are what makes you unique. You are what makes you unique. Your unique story, your thought pattern, your behavior is what makes you the asset. Everybody can come up here and teach something. Anybody can go on social media and say something, but I'm going to say it a little bit different. I'm going to have a southern twang to it. I'm going to say like a mug at the end. Certain people going to, be attracted to maybe the way I speak, maybe my experience, maybe what I've been through. So when I share with y'all, man, I was working at FedEx, man, I was throwing 1,000 boxes on the truck. Somebody said, man, I feel the same way, man. I just threw 2,000 last week. So you are what makes you unique. So what is that gift that you have that's going to take you to the next level? And then don't think about, I have to do everything in the business. That's where we go wrong. Or we think, well, if I'm going to do everything, I'll get more money. Well, yeah, you're supposed to get more money if you're doing everything. You the security guard and you the speaker. You done closed it down. You the janitor. You the cleaner. You doing everything. So you're really not even really enjoying it because you're having to work trying to do everything. Y'all know how many of y'all solo entrepreneurs right now? You just by yourself right now. You write them emails that say, we thank you for writing us, and it's just you. We'll get back to you, and it's just you. That was the same way. Yeah, thank you for contacting us. We'll get back to you in 24 hours. It's just me that's going to get back to you in 24 hours. But I got to find somebody who's good at customer service. I don't always have to do the customer service. I don't always have to manage the money. I don't always have to deliver the product. Maybe I get paid for thinking. If I come up with the creative idea, somebody else can do the labor work, or maybe technology can do the labor work, but I still get paid through unity. So they say unity and uniformity is two different things. Unity is, hey, man, you got your your particular philosophy, your particular gift. I got mine. Instead of us competing, let's come together on common grounds so that we can still get the mission done, because business is just delivering a product and servicing somebody's need. For my family that just came in, get your pad and your note and write your name, the date on it. And right now we on what is your gift? Write your gift down. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Now, God and money, I want to tackle this real quick, God and money, because many people think, man, when you come to God, you got to be broke. You got to be broke to be woke. That's a lie. Didn't Jesus say he want us to have life more abundantly? How I'm going to have life more abundantly worrying about a bill? How I'm going to have life more abundantly worrying about insurance? Worrying about how my children going to eat? That's not life more abundantly. Heaven is peace and contentment of mind. How do I have peace worrying about my food I'm going to eat? See, so you can't tell me God want us to be broke. And I know what somebody thinking. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, poor righteous teacher. Yeah, I see. Well, I read a book, The Table Talk, and he wasn't talking about money. He was talking about being poor in numbers, because as 5%, we going against the 10% to go get 85% of the dumb, deaf, and blind, who's hard to come to it's hard to teach and go into the right direction, but easy to go into the wrong direction. So poor righteous teacher, just like you're saying, oh, poor brother. That's more so the spirit, not poor literally. Well, if he was poor, he wouldn't have an $80+ million empire. If he wanted us to be poor, he wouldn't say do for self or suffer the consequences. If he wants us to be poor, he want to say, get with 6 to 8 like-minded individuals, pool your resources and knowledge, come together and do something for yourself. So can we agree that he wasn't talking about money when he said poor, righteous teacher? Well, God did. Okay, listen. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Well, our problem is we just do it backwards. We try to get the things, and then if you bless me with this thing, I'm coming to church tomorrow. If you just bless me with this here, I'll come to the mosque tomorrow. When actually it don't work like that. If you take one step towards God, then he'll come to you, not as a spook now, not as no ghost, but he's going to come through a human being. All right? So listen. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Okay, what does that mean? Anybody know what did Jesus do? Somebody just throw some stuff out. What was the works that Jesus did? Throw it out. Healed the sick. Anybody else? Raised the dead to life. Anybody else? Oh, made the blind see. Anybody else? Okay, now think about all that. Now, let me destroy the spookism real quick. He raised him from the dead. I ain't seen now pastor nor minister go down there to the cemetery and raise anybody from the dead physically. Now, why do I say that? In John 14:12, and look it up on your own so you can take notes and write it down, look it up later. John 14:12 says, those who believe, Jesus speaking, will do the works that I'm doing. Okay, so that means if we ain't got the ability to do it as believers physically, he must be talking about a spiritual and a mental resurrection. If he's saying giving sight to the blind, it's probably a brother who's blind who can't see the truth, and when he put that spittle over his eye, now he can see. Now he can walk again. Now he can go be a living human being. So let's think about it. What is a dead? When the person that's dead sitting in the casket, laying in the casket, did they put their shoes on? Did they put their clothes on? Did they put the makeup on? So somebody else did it for them, right? So if everybody else is doing something for us and we're not doing something for ourselves, well, I think maybe we may be a dead people. And so the scripture talks about one who was raised from the dead, okay? So he's raised, so we talk that that's not necessarily God coming to Mary necessarily, and he done put a ghost in her, and she done had this mystery baby. The minister said, if your daughter come home and say, Jesus did it, God put this in me, I'm not pregnant. He said, you're going to hit her upside the head and you're going to make her go to the person who actually put it in there. What that really means is God, with us, we never had an intimate relationship with God. So once God came in the person through a human being, that was able to impregnate our minds and give birth to one who's raised from the dead, taken out of the junk pile, cleaned up, put back on top of the junk pile so he can be a great example for us in our midst and help us give life to the dead. Now, somebody in the nation asked me one time, how do you separate the teachings and making money? I said, I don't. Why should we? Have we been taught that we should? Well, let's examine the supreme wisdom real quick. This is problem number 13. Now, I'm not the smartest one, so we got a student minister back there that can help me out if I'm wrong. It says, after learning mathematics, which is Islam. Now, what is Islam, anybody? Freedom, justice, and equality, and message to the black man. He says submission to the will of God, right? Okay, let's continue. And Islam is mathematics. It stands true. You can always prove it at no limit of time. Now, watch this part here. Then you must learn to use it and secure some benefit while you are living. Now, I know what somebody going to say. So you're saying use it just to be spiritual. You know, just talking about peace of mind. It ain't talking about no money. So I'm glad he clarified it. Look at this part. He says that is luxury, money, good homes, friendships of all walks of life. Set yourself in heaven at once. That is the greatest desire of your brother and teachers. Now listen, I ain't the smartest one in the room. But that part right there where it says, then you must learn how to use it. Let's stop. What's it? Because it says what came before that was which is Islam, and Islam is mathematics. Then it says, then you must learn to use it and secure some benefit while you're living. So why can't we make money with the teachings? Why do we have to lead the mosque or the study group to make money with the teachings if the supreme wisdom product number 13 is saying that? Well, my captain, well, you need to correct your captain then. Or your lieutenant or somebody, because the supreme wisdom right here teaches us that we can learn how to use it. So we need to get out of this thinking that, oh, I can't be with God if I'm making money. Now, it does say seek ye first. So what that basically means to me is don't compromise your principles to go make the money. Don't compromise your religion to go make the money. But hey, if I become a billionaire, all praise is due to Allah, that just gives me more tools to go impact more people. So money only magnifies who you really are. So if you're a wicked person, you're only going to do more wickedness once you get the money. But if you're a righteous man and woman, if you get more money, you're just going to do more righteousness. So I just wanted to bust that up before we get to talk about money. So I got this right here. How many of us are looking for direction in life with business? So that's us down there. And we looking for direction. And we trying to get to the destination. Now, what I want you to write down right now is, where do you want to go? What does your dream life look like? And don't be so general either. I'm talking about be specific. This amount of money per month. I live in this type of house. I drive this type of car. Because there ain't nothing wrong with having a nice car or house now. The minister said that Master Farah Muhammad wanted us to have the best. That's what luxury mean, right? The best. Yeah. So write that down. Because the reason I want you to write this down is because whenever we're looking to get direction from someone, how do I know what direction to give you if I don't know where you're going? How will you know how to apply the knowledge that'll be shared if you don't even know where you're going? So we come to, that's why I want this to be a dialogue. Because we go to places, when I was in school, they used to come speak to us, and it was good stuff, but it never was addressing anything that I was going through personally. So that's why I'm going to do a Q&A at the end. Because if I don't know where I'm going, y'all going to sit down on that table or at them seats, and y'all going to clap at the powerful quotes, and then we're going to go right back out there and apply nothing. So I'm not here to rile you up, I'm clapping I just want you to write this stuff down and go apply and execute when you leave, because I say it doesn't matter how many books you done read. It's about how many pages you done applied. I can't tell you how many brothers I'm spreading the teachings online. Oh, brother, I was at the Million Man March. Oh, brother, I had messed to the black man. So if your life doesn't reflect it, what is the point of us being able to read? It's people that are blind, wish they can read, wish they can see, wish they can get some of the stuff that we got access to. We got it, and we don't even apply, but we bragging about going to the Million Man March. The ministers had every man, as I watched it, I wasn't there, I was one, but I watched it. He had everybody raise their hand. I'm going to strive to go back and build business. Y'all remember that? If you don't, go watch it. Go back and build businesses. I'm going to go back and do this. Go back and do that. Don't tell me if you was there bragging about you there, but we ain't did what the man said to do. See, we get into a position, man, where we get to blaming the minister for everything or blaming your pastor for everything. If mama told you don't touch the stove and you went to go touch the stove, you can't blame mama. You got to blame yourself. So that's why he says self-improvement is the basis for community development. So where you want to go, write that down. Make sure you got that written down as we go. The reason I want you to get your destination written down, because after we put the destination in, now we can reverse engineer. Why do we make life so hard? If I know where I want to go, I just got to find somebody who's already there. Get his book. Get his mentorship. Get his coaching. But here we go. We don't want to pay for the coaching, do we? But you pay for McDevils and Long John Killers. As Brother Neary would say, you'll pay for some food that you know bad for you, that's going to come out at 10:30 at night. But you don't want to pay for knowledge that's going to go in your mind that you can use forever. Knowledge is more powerful than that. But I know what you're saying. You're saying, Brother Ben, knowledge is free. People shouldn't have to pay for knowledge. Well, you don't have to pay for knowledge if you go down there 10 hours and go to the library and read all the free books yourself. But if you want somebody to give you a blueprint, a step-by-step blueprint of what they've been able to do, what took them 5 to 6 years to do, I would be glad to pay them whatever they charge because they're going to save me time. See, in entrepreneurship, we either going to save time or we're going to save money. If you would rather save money, raise your hand. If you would rather save time, raise your hand. Now, here's my philosophy. There's no right or wrong. Those are y'all personal opinions. But I can get money back, but I can't get time back. So if I can sit here and learn about how to grow on social media, I can go through all the research, trial and error, or I can pay this brother $5.99, $1.99, $1,000, whatever they charge, and get it done in 3 months versus me taking my time to get it in 3 years that it took him. So I would rather save my time than to save my money. So what is reverse engineering? To disassemble and examine or analyze in detail a product or device, to discover the concepts involved in manufacture, usually in order to produce something similar. Now, this may be talking about a device, but today I want us to think of this as a person. Look at a person. What is the makeup that made them? When we say we are Farrakhan, it's not just joined to the Nation of Islam that made him. It's principles that he stand on, morals that he stand on, the way that he thinks. In the book Closing the Gap, he talks about it's not just his finite body. You want to follow the principles of a person, the morals of a person. What is the totality of his makeup? Don't just dress like him. Put the part in your head like him. You want to think like someone if you want to get there. So if you want to become a millionaire, how do they think? What are their actions? And if we're not applying those actions, we can say 100,000 all day long, but we'll never get there if the actions don't line up. The putting the destination there is the first part, but I still got to crank the car up. Still got to have some gas in there. Still got to have a good engine in there. So I can have the destination put in my Siri all day long, but if the car, which is me, don't work, I ain't going nowhere. That make sense? Yes, sir. All right. And then we got to put good gas in there. Let you get a Bentley, you ain't putting 87 nothing in there. You're going to make sure you got the highest one in there. We talking about a Bentley, though. But you who are made by God, you'll put anything in your mind. You'll put anything in your body. So think over that. See, we'll look at the things and treat the things very good, but ourselves we treat very poorly, very bad. Okay?
Those who have suffered to get knowledge,
Man.
and
So this one ain't. So listen, this is what I'm gonna do.
they know it doesn't take.
I'm gonna see if it'll play. I'm gonna see if it'll play here so y'all can hear it. Cause I want y'all to hear that one.
To get knowledge, I believe know the shortcut. And they know it doesn't take 12 years to make a doctor. You can make a doctor in less time. It doesn't take all those years to make a lawyer. You can make a lawyer in a shorter time. It doesn't take a long time to make a proficient accountant. You can do it in a short time. But this world keeps you bound up in school for years in theory. And then you go out into the world to practice, not knowing whether your theory is workable or not. And it is only the practice of the theory that refines the theory. And by the time you practice a little while, you have learned and you have unlearned, but you're too into the system to bother about it. By the grace of Almighty God, if those who know something will begin to take those who know very little but have a desire to learn and start imparting just what you have gained proficiency in, you yourself can reproduce yourself over and over again. That person may not have a degree from this world, but from what your degree is, your degree will cover their degree. That is how the white man gives degrees. He uses his degree to make you a degree. So if we turn around and use what our degree has made and make people of degrees from our degree, then we have our own university. Black people do not need Black people do not need necessarily to go to Northwestern or DePaul or Harvard or Yale to get a degree. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you can have a university under a tree. It's not the school building that makes a university. It is teaching the disciplines that pertain to the universe that make a university. So your home could be a university if a person of degree would open the home up and teach others what we know. Then we need not worry about Reagan cutting back on entitlement funds as long as every degreed person recognizes the need for that scholarship among our people. And the masses of our people should understand.
Let's give it up for the minister. That lecture is called How to Reproduce Yourself, Your Ability, and Others. I want to comment on that. We talk about generational wealth and economics and how to build wealth and get to the bag. One of the ways that we do that is by introducing young people and exposing them to new knowledge when it comes to economics. If everyone in here would have brought a younger person with you today, that would have been the first step to generational wealth. Allowing those who are 7, 8, 10, 12 to be exposed to this type of knowledge, not leaving them at home, but bringing them to hear this type of knowledge so that the gift and the skill sets and the creativity that's in their mind can be touched by God so that they can become creative and come up with ideas that many of us who are older won't be able to come up with. See, they are looking at technology. They have access to technology. They're mastering technology, but instead of saying get off the phone, let's just make sure that they're mastering so that they can learn a skill that can build our nation in the future, because we have a world that's going towards technology, that's going towards AI and things of that nature. So if we don't know these things, let's just make sure next time that we bring one younger person with us to a business conference, to the mosque, to the wherever to learn, so that they're not left out. Because the minister says whenever we have a place that's without young people, it's dying. So let's just make sure we do that. I want to look at Robert Kiyosaki. He's someone who always teaches on financial freedom and assets versus liabilities. Anybody here, everybody know what an asset and what a liability is? If you don't, raise your hand. If you don't, raise your hand. All right. Brother right here, what's an asset versus liability? If you kind of got it. Anybody else right here with the brother right here? Asset versus liability. Raise your hand if you're not totally sure what an asset versus liability is. Raise your hand if you're not totally sure. I went some. Now the reason I said that is because there's going to be some terms, not in this presentation, but in life that we don't know. And I think one of the smartest people in the room are those who admit, I don't know. Like not keeping a hand down saying, y'all don't want nobody to know I don't know. And in school, we're kind of shunned for that if we don't know the answer. But I'm thinking today, we need to change that paradigm, because the more I admit and I'm honest about not knowing, somebody can teach me. But a brother or a sister doesn't know to teach me if I don't tell them I don't know. Like the way I learn a lot of stuff is by admitting, man, I don't know. Can you explain that for me? Can you go a little bit more in detail? So I'm saying that to say this is a dialogue. So y'all can stop me at any time to say, man, I don't really understand that part. Can you? Because if we don't understand, if we don't clear the word, if we don't get fully, have a comprehensive knowledge of what we're looking at, we're going to go back into the world and say, man, that was a cold presentation. And we're going to live the same life. We're going to get the same results. So whatever we don't know, man, never be afraid, never be ashamed to say, I don't know. There are so many things I don't know about business. What I do know, though, I know it, and I do it well. However, there's so many things I don't know, so once I admit that, I can go find a person, I can go find a system, I can go find technology or something that can compensate for that because I've been honest with myself and say I don't know. So we got these 4 little quadrants. If you got the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, you probably already seen this. So the first level, 4 ways to produce income. First level is an employee. You got a job. Raise your hand if you in step 1, box number 1, you got a job. That's the way that we got income, creating a job. Then that second way is we self-employed. Anybody here self-employed now? You know, raised up to self-employment. Now let me stop right here real quick. This cool to be. This one of those when you don't work for the white man no more. But we still be enslaved to ourselves. We still be enslaved to our own business because I still can't get no sleep. I'm still working. I'm still tired. So now we self-employed. It's good. You're making a little bit more money because now you can kind of control. If you throw more boxes on the truck, you good. But I'm still trading my time for money. What do we want back? Time versus money. I want to get as much of my time back as possible. Why? Because when I get up in the morning, I don't want my first thought to be how I'm going to pay off that light bill. How I'm going to get enough money to pay off this mortgage. I want to be so free that I get up in the morning and say, man, how many people we going to touch today? How many people I'm going to reach with my gift today? How am I going to serve God today versus serving the bank who I owe $100,000 in debt? Wouldn't you rather have a life like that? When you wake up in the morning, man, and you just think about how I'm going to be better with my gift? That's where we want to be. So the third way is a business owner. Now we got a system in place. You got employees. You got your process and procedure. You got all that stuff together. You're a business owner. Anybody there yet? Business owner. Okay, we got a couple hands. And then the last one is the investor, where your income does not depend on active work and your money is working for you. Meaning you don't put your money into real estate somewhere. You don't put your money into an investment. You don't put your money into something. And that thing is generating you income no matter if you get up and work or not. How many people there? How many people want to be there? Well, your money just working for you. All right. Now, I'm not going to go into how I do that today, but if anybody interested in how I do it, just get with me and I can give you my card and we can get on the call. So the next one, let's look at Rich Dad Poor Dad if you haven't read it. One of the first lessons is learn to listen. Now, he may have meant something different, but someone in there who knows our teachings, how many years in advance did we write history? 25,000 years. Now, the question I have is, how were we able to do that? By them doing what? Reading the thinking. Y'all hear that? Reading and listening to what? The thinking of the people. Now, let me share with y'all something that I've done on social media, all my social media programs that has helped me be successful. On Facebook, there's a box, and when you write your message, there's something that it says before you start typing. What does it say? What is on your mind? And every day and every week y'all log into Facebook, y'all see a ton of problems that people talk about on Facebook, don't you? You see, like every week we got a new argument. Vegetables versus fruits. Marvel versus DC. Men versus women. Yeah, fentanyl. Yeah, we ain't gonna go. But everybody got a problem. So if I'm a business owner or someone who's providing value, I don't got to sit here and guess and think about what the people want. I'm going to go to the comment section and see, based on the pattern and the thinking of what this person is saying, I already know what they need. So I would go find a lecture from the minister that was dealing with that problem, post it on my page, and I can't tell you how many people say, ooh, that was right on time. I know it because I've been studying them. So all we have to do is listen for the problems, and that will give us what product we need to create to put in the marketplace. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Pay yourself first. Sound pretty good, right? You want to make a certain amount of money a week? You want to make a certain amount of money a month? How can I get to a position where I pay myself first? Buy luxuries last, not first. We actually should buy luxuries with our assets versus our liabilities. If you don't understand what that means, raise your hand. What that basically means is, instead of me going to my job and I'm using my paycheck to go buy me some new Jordans, I'm going to use my paycheck to put it in an asset, real estate, stocks, digital real estate, whatever, where my money, when I put this $20 in, it made me $200. When I put this $2,000 in, it made me $5,000. The money that's coming back monthly without me trading my time, I'm going to use that asset money to go buy the Jordans. Why? Because I know next month I'm going to get that money again because it's an asset. Does that make sense now? Everybody got it? Cool. All right. Reduce expenses and liabilities. I want you to write something on that paper y'all have. What is your total amount of expenses? You made it ain't got to be to the cent, but just give an estimate number. What is your total amount, meaning liabilities? How much do you pay a month that's going out of your house? This is your phone bill. This is your car note. This is your mortgage or rent. What is that total number that's going out on a monthly basis? Step number 5, aim for more valuable assets. Now, there's a way to turn our liabilities into assets a lot easier today. Our house, as long as we're living in it personally, is not an asset. It's a liability. However, if I'm traveling and I know I'm going to be at Savior's Day, or I know I'm going to be somewhere for a whole month, and I put it on Airbnb, and now somebody's living in it and my house is bringing me money in, I've turned my liability into what? All right, if I got a car, this car I'm paying $300 a month for it. While I'm paying $300 a month to ride it, it's a what? But if I was renting it out on Turo, if I did Airbnb, and now as I use this liability to bring money in, I've turned my car into, all right, we starting to get this thing down. So what I want you to write down now is some things, we ain't got to go into it in detail, write down a list of things I need to turn into a liability. If I got a cell phone, that cell phone is man, every month a bill coming out. I need to learn how to use my cell phone to make a video, put it up, create a product, put it up so I can bring money in digitally. Now this cell phone, I turn from a liability to what? Millions of dollars have been made from this device. Man, it don't matter if I'm in Jamaica, as my mama used to say, Timbuktu, wherever I'm at, if I got Wi-Fi, I'm going to find a way to make some money. So if you got a cell phone bill, find a way to make money. If you got a laptop, if you got Wi-Fi that you paying for on a monthly basis, that's a liability. But if you use the internet to make money, you turn that thing into an asset. Got it? So write down a list of things you need to turn into an asset by the end of 2023. Be in control over your emotions. I think that speaks for itself. Work to learn, don't work to earn. All right. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us something called the Stillaway method. And what the Stillaway method is not, the black man is God, so I'm finna quit my job. And you sitting up under the bridge talking about the black man is God. No. What he means by stealing, and he not talking about stealing boxes on your day off and getting fired on, he ain't talking about that in Friday. He ain't talking about stealing boxes. What he means by it is, okay, I got this job. This job is bringing me some pretty good income, $3,000 a month. Instead of me using my cash to go spend on what? A liability, I'm going to use this money and I'm going to put it to the side, and I'm going to use this money to get coaching. I'm going to use this money to get into a course. I'm going to use this money to invest in a business, get some materials for my business. And once my side job is able to sustain me, then I quit. So you steal away and you work your way out and you inch your way out. Kind of like, the babies, the umbilical cord. Yeah, I messed them words up, man. After a while, you feeding on it, but after a while, that thing got to be cut eventually. So when are we going to see that, man, we need to be cut from this system that don't mean us no good? From this job that don't mean us no good? And it really kills our spirit as a man when we go to work knowing this boss going to talk to me bad, knowing he going to treat me bad, but I ain't going to say nothing anyway because he got this check that he going to cut for me every 2 weeks. So us deciding not to do for self actually destroys our will. Every time we duck difficulty, it's diminishing our character. And it's diminishing our will and desire to do something for ourselves. So listen, man, strive to do something for yourself and learn from them. If I know I want to get a restaurant business, ain't no wrong with me going to work for a restaurant about 6 months to learn how they operate. See, now I'm getting up in there, I'm learning the operations of them. Now I'm asking certain questions. But look, if I didn't know where I was going, how can I have the right question? That's why I'm saying now you have to know where you want to go. You know how many, we had a networking event last night. If I don't know what I want to do, how am I going to know who I need to introduce myself to? But if I know, man, I want to start this education business and and I'm specific, not just an education business that lives online. When a brother say, man, I'm into technology and websites, now I know, yep, I need to talk to him because where he's going and what he's saying aligns with me. But if I don't know me, I don't know who else aligns with me. That's why we must discover our gift, figure out what our destination is. Now everywhere we go is a book. It's not just the Quran itself. It's not just the book itself. The minister says knowledge is all around us. And we should be studying everything around us, ourselves and our people, because that's knowledge from God coming through human beings. Next, you become what you study. Read a lot. It says, be ye transformed by the renewing of our Jordans, right? They didn't say that. Be ye transformed by the renewing of our Louis Vuitton. It said, be ye transformed by the renewing of our mind. So what are we putting in our mind? There's a book that said if you want to change the fruit, you got to change the root. I'm going to say that again. Yeah, write that one down. That's a tweet you can put up there. If you want to change the fruit, we have to change the root. We're putting bad financial advice, bad financial literacy in our mind. We want to save money, save. How many of us have been taught, save your money in the bank, baby? Save it. Save as much as you can. Save it. Now, do we know how much the bank gives us a year on our money? 0.01%, 0.05%. But when they lend our money that we work hard for through 2,000 boxes on the truck for, they lend it out for what percent? 10%, 14%, 6%, and then they give us a return, an annual reward of 0.01. That's called fractional reserve banking. Fractional reserve banking is when you they legally can lend out 90% of the money, charge loans up to 10%, 25%, whatever the percentage is, and now this is how they making millions of dollars out of thin air off of our money. Got it? So we got to learn other ways to make money, other places, other vehicles to put it. But if we're not aware of these things, we don't think about these things, we don't care about these things, we'll never think to make a change. All right, next, reinvest excess cash generated by assets. What does that mean? Come on, tell right here, brother. What does that mean? Reinvest excess cash generated by assets. So now you got the assets. We done put our money into this car business, and now I got the money back. I just got $2,000 investment. What is it saying I need to do now? You got it? So I put my money into a car wash. The car wash pays me. Now I done made $2,000 from my paycheck. Now what should we do with it to make more? Put it back into the business. Now I'm not picking on you. I just want to make sure that you understand it, because us as a people, I think oftentimes, if we don't have examples in our community, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you never have to condemn a dirty glass, just put a clean one next to it. And everybody in here should leave being an example of what we learning today. So we ain't got to go back and condemn them for being in the streets. Oftentimes they're in the streets because they feel like that's the only option that they have. So instead of condemning them, we should pull up their mind, and if we pull up their mind, that'll pull up the pants on their behind. Now, that's for real. Look, I had a brother that came in to the study group one time. I invited him to the study group. He had his hat turned to the back, and he was sagging. Now, I didn't say, brother, now when you come in here, brother, you need to pull those pants up and take the hat off. Watch what happened. The minister talks about environment. When we came into the study group, the brothers was, of course, suited and booted. I had my suit on. Everybody came in. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. How you doing, my brother? All positive. I'm looking at him. Do y'all know when he sat down, he pulled his pants up, and then he went like this here. He turned his hat around. Now, nobody told him to do that. But the environment itself, the examples that he's seen around him, influenced him to do that. So we ain't necessarily got to condemn our people about what they not doing right. Just be a good example. Don't tell them what they can't do. How about you tell us all the things that we can do? Islam's supposed to be fun, man. It ain't, well, you can't do this no more. You can't do this. You can't. Damn, what can I do? You can be anything that we want to be, man. There's just some restrictions. There's just some laws that's in place. And let me get this perspective real quick. Laws aren't bad. Laws actually protect us and help us. Now, Brother Malik painted this picture. This is the best picture I ever heard. Anybody been to Six Flags before? Now, when you go to Six Flags and you get on that roller coaster, by law, they got to do what? Put that thing on there, right? Put the little bar. Now, I ain't seen now black person say, man, take that bar off me, man. I want to be free. No, that's what we want. We leave the church and we leave spirit because I want to be free. I ain't seen now person say, I want to be free. Let's go. Why don't they do that? Because they know that bar, when you press that bar down, you finna have a life and you finna have a roller coaster that's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, it's gonna be shaky, it's gonna take you upside down, just like our life. But the reason we aren't in position, we not where we want to be, is because we have taken the laws of God off of us, that which was trying to protect us and hold us in place. Our disobedience have made us fall out the chair. Yeah, our disobedience have had us fall off the roller coaster. Because guess what? All of us go through roller coasters. I don't care any millionaire, any social media influencer, anybody you're looking at, everybody go through roller coaster. Some of us, or some of whomever, they just have more discipline. And it's their discipline that allows them, it's the submission to the will of God that allows them to stay into place. Because a lot of this stuff I'm telling y'all is mindset. Y'all probably say, man, I ain't heard nothing about business. Maybe you have. But this is really the foundation and the root to business. If we don't have these principles, these morals, and these thought processes in place, it don't matter if somebody come give you $10,000, you're going to lose it. I've literally seen somebody giving $10,000 and they didn't know what to do with it and they lost it. There's people who have hit the jackpot and they lost it. There's people that went on these shows and they lost all their weight. They were 400 pounds. They lost the weight because they was there. They was in the environment. When they went right back home, they gained the weight again because what didn't change was the mind. Once we change the mind, we can change our behind. All right. And surround yourself with people smarter than you. Now, this is good. We probably all have heard that before. But if I surround myself with people smarter than me, but I'm afraid to ask questions, and I'm afraid to admit that you're smarter than me in this area, then I'll never grow. The minister says, every time I meet someone, I'm meeting my superior. Now, we're talking about the minister now, who many millions have wanted to consult, who he's consulted thousands of people. He, in his humility, said, every time I meet someone, I'm meeting my superior, because it's something that God has put in you that's probably not as developed in me. And if I'm humble enough even to learn from a baby, that will allow me to continue to grow in life. Now, this other side, he says one of his poor dad said, I can't afford it. The other said, how can I afford it? One is a statement, the other question which forces you to think. If you say, I can't afford it, your brain stops. If, however, you say or ask, how can I afford it, you force your brain to think. Now, how many of us have seen a product or seen something, and we said, man, I can't afford that? How many of us have been in a position where your light bill or your bills wasn't going to be paid, and you had maybe 10 days to pay the rent? Raise your hand. Did y'all find a way to pay it? How many of y'all had some babies and you just, man, I don't know how we going to eat this week, but you found a way to feed those babies? It happened, right? Even if it was a syrup sandwich. Even if it was a jelly sandwich. Yeah, put some eggs on there, just roll it up. Something. You found a way to make it work. And that's why I think black people are in the best position to be entrepreneurs because of how innovative we are. Man, we done nigga rigged so much stuff, man. We got problems that other people don't. So like the way that we have learned to adapt and make things work, man, that's what gives us the creative mind. The minister says adversity is the mother of creativity. We have been through the worst things. We have went through some tragic things that has forced us to be creative. We done been in a position where we done been cold. We done found ways to stay warm. We done been in a position where we hungry. We done found meals to eat. We done put them noodles together. We done crunched up some hot Cheetos, put in there, put some cheese in there. Man, we make it good. So why can't we be creative when it comes with business and solving other people's problems? We got to have that same mindset that we have with ourselves and produce a product or a service and put it out in the marketplace. So difference between the asset and the liability, we already talked about that. So the first thing I want y'all to do, write down the total liabilities. Y'all probably already did that. And then write down the second thing, how much do you have in assets coming in right now? Write it down. And what that means is not you going to work and making money. That means I done put my money somewhere. This over here is generating me money, not me going to work. If it's zero, put zero. That's okay. Write down your total liabilities and write down how much in assets are you bringing in on a monthly basis. Then I want you to write down how much passive income do you need to cover your monthly expenses. Write it down. How much passive income do you need? Now raise your hand if you know what financial freedom is. Raise your hand if you don't know what financial freedom is. All right, based on what Robert teaches, and y'all can either disagree or agree. I want to hear y'all feedback. Financial freedom is when the total amount of assets that you have coming in is more than the total amount of liabilities that you have going out. Okay, maybe let me paint the picture. If my total expenses is $2,000, but I bring in $3,000 passively, I'm financial free. Because if I decide not to work for the next 90 days, my bills, all my expenses is still going to get paid. Now, many of us think financial freedom is a lot of money, $100,000 a month. That's good. That should be a goal if you got a big mission, you want to help a lot of people. But at the same time, if my expenses is $1,500 and I'm bringing in $3,500, I'm technically financially free. And I can be more financially free than somebody who's bringing in $10,000 a month who hasn't got to a point to where they can trade their time, not trade their time for money. Does that make sense? It makes sense? So let me paint the picture again to drive it home. If I'm bringing in $10,000 a month, but I'm only bringing in $100 a month in assets passively, I got $9,000 that I'm bringing in by trading my time for money, meaning that if I get sick, I get hurt, I can't work, I'm going to be struggling. So I'm going to be afraid about these bills coming in next month. But if I have $2,500 and my expenses is $2,000 coming in every month, I'm financially free. So how much do you need to have in passive income, meaning income you don't have to trade your time in for to cover your monthly expenses? Who got it written down? Raise your hand. All right, my brother right here. How much total passive income you got to bring in? Okay, write down the actual number. How much passive income you got to bring in? Total expenses. 3,000. 1,900. Anybody else want to share? 6,000. Back there. 2,500. Now listen. Now I want y'all to get maybe your phone out and your calculator. Watch this. Get your phone out. The average that I heard was around 25, and then we had one that had 6,000. So let's just do 3,000 in the middle. Now do 3,000 divided by 4. What is that? What is it? Now do 750 divided by 5. 150. So that means every day, 5 days a week, if I can make $150 per day. Now, the numbers seem big when it's blown up, 5,000, 6,000. But when we break it down, you basically only got to make $150 per day. Now, watch this. Anybody ever been homeless before or know somebody who's been homeless? Have y'all seen the will that they have to ask people for money? Now, I did this video today, no disrespect to them. I said, why do we develop that desire and will to talk to people and ask when we get homeless, but when I got a business, I'm shy? Maybe y'all don't get what I'm saying. When I'm homeless, I can ask, man, you got 25 cents, man, you got $1? Man, you got $2, man, can I come on, can you look out for me? And then they'll make you feel bad for not getting down. You ain't gonna give me no dollar. Make you feel like you done did something wrong. But when I got a business and a product, I'm afraid to introduce my product to you. Imagine if I introduce my product to 50 people per day. Imagine if I introduce my service to 100. Now, I know they're at the gas station talking to probably hundreds of people per day. That's how they've been surviving. We all got that one brother who been doing that for the last 6 years, and he's still surviving. Walking good. But for us with a business, we don't want to introduce it to nobody. Then we say nobody supports me. We got to look at the law of averages. If I talk to 100 people, I might get 10 people to buy. Now, raise your hand if you got a product. How much is your product? You got what? How much is your service? How much is it? One. $5 to $50. Anybody else with a product? Right here. A book. Anybody else got a book? Or want to write a book? How much would you sell your book for? $10. Okay. Now we do 10, or we do 150 divided by 10. We got to get 15 people a day to buy. Now watch this. And so with social media, how many people do you think you can interact with on social media? There's hundreds, thousands, millions of people on social media. We be like, man, I only got 200 likes. Only? Man, I only got 50 likes. Only 50? Now, I know we want to get to the 1,000 per post and 10,000 views per. That's cool. But how many of those 20 people did you DM and talk to one-on-one? How many of those 50 people did you DM and talk to, get on a phone call one-on-one? Somebody's going to close. I used to do this on Instagram where I would go live and I would call their list and sell for them. And I don't even work for the company. I said, give me a number and I'm going to call them and I'm going to sell them. One person said, man, I got them a loyal supporter for me just calling them, cold calling. But how many people have we missed out on, money that we missed out on simply because we didn't make the call? 200 people in your contacts right now, 500 people in your contacts right now that you haven't talked to. Why not? Why haven't you introduced to them? Damn, I'm thinking about writing this book, man, and I would love your support. That's one way. Or we can look at what they're going through, have a real conversation with them, see what their needs are, and offer them the product or service that you have that fits their needs. Because at the end of the day, everybody isn't your target audience. So write down that total number, then break it down per week, then break it down by 5 days a week, or however many days you want to work a week. The minister teaches us that if you work, he wants us to get to a point where we work 3 days, 4 days for God, and 3 days for family. So my goal is I work just 4 days a week. Now it's hard because I get my energy and I get a lot of from working, so I'm working on that balance. However, mine, when I do my calculations, I got to make enough in 4 days. Yours, you may say, I'm cool working 5 days a week. Some of y'all may say, I want to work 7 days a week. So whatever your number is, calculate it and write it down. Now, I'm not doing this as an exercise for y'all to turn in, so I'm not your teacher. This is for y'all. So y'all may say, man, why you got me writing this stuff down? This is really for y'all. And really, if you look at this every day and you study it, you will see by the end of 2023 how valuable what you writing down is. So we got direction. So first, we got income, earn income. I got a job. I'm working at the warehouse, or I'm working at wherever. My first step is earn income. Then I take that earn income and put it where? Yeah, it's another word. Put it into a... Yeah, but what's the investing called? asset. Got it? So we get our earned income wherever you're working at right now, and our job as we leave here today, everybody, our action orders is to take our earned income and find a asset. All right. Okay. So what is business? The minister teaches us. Business is the activity of life itself. A living man and woman provides for themselves what's needed to survive: food, clothing, and shelter. He said we don't see no ants when we step on an ant pile with signs, little small signs saying no justice, no peace. The ants, they come back together and they build another ant pile. And what I noticed, sometimes they build an ant pile that's much bigger than it was in the first place. So let's study the ant. Oh, ye sluggard, that's what the Bible says. So let's study the ant and see how they work together in a collective manner to build for themselves. Then he says, business is the activity of life. Without business, you're not a living people. Ooh. So if that's that picture I painted for us earlier. If somebody is doing everything for us, we're not even really alive. It's us discovering what our purpose is and what our gift is and activating and living that. That's what brings us and makes us alive. So let's look at this from the minister.
So when God made Adam, he gave him a job. Now all of us want to be something in life. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a nurse. I want to be this. I want to be that. Very seldom will you ever hear a man or woman say, I want to be a farmer.
Well.
Thank you, sir. I salute you. That's the first job that God gave to man. He said there was no man to till the ground. That was Adam's purpose. Produce something from the earth. Adam, produce a product. Put your product on the market. And you will be fulfilling your natural purpose in life. No woman needs a man who is non-productive.
Uh-oh. Sister, somebody, she said true that. Y'all brother. Okay, so we're not going to get into that. It'd be really hot in here. So step one, discover a problem. What problem do you see in your neighborhoods? What problem do you see on the internet where you can use your gift to provide a solution? Your gift to provide a solution. If we don't discover what our gift is and what our purpose is and find out why we're really here, we're going to go out of here and maybe learn how to make money, but we won't be fulfilled. There are so many people who make a lot of money, but they're unfulfilled. They're unhappy because they're not doing what God showed them that they're willing and capable and should be doing. The minister actually says stress comes from lack of duty. There's a self-accusing spirit in all of us. There's a God consciousness in all of us that whispers in our ear and say, you know what you need to be doing. You need to put that product out there. You need to do this. You need to do that. And every time that we deny that, we cause ourselves to have really self-conflicted stress because all we got to do is submit. So once we submit, and our total submission is how we get peace. So I encourage you all, man, whatever it is that's touching you. I don't know if this PowerPoint is touching somebody. I don't know if this is saying, man, this is that thing. I know I've been supposed to do something for the last 5 years. I hope it touches you. And if it is touching you, go back out and just submit to it. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. Like it's going to be difficult. Like it took your, look, man, everything that came into life has some level of difficulty. Look at us today. We came through the womb of a mother. Now, when we came through, our big head self, we had a bleeding. She was crying. It was pressure. It was pain. Now, it took us 9 months for majority, some a little shorter, for us to develop as human beings. And then we quit our business because it ain't making enough money in 9 days. Man, I ain't making enough money, man. I guess I'll try something else. You haven't even given it time. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us start small and grow large like everything else does. So whatever you go out and do with your gift, it doesn't mean that it's going to develop tomorrow, but just plant the seed. I love watermelons, man, so I love June, summertime. When them watermelons get to coming out, but those watermelons, man, it took time for those big old giant watermelons to be created. The moment you put the seed in the ground, that's not the moment that it began to become full. And some of y'all, how many of y'all been working for your business, man, and it just ain't blew up yet? Well, you just a seed planted in the ground. When you plant the seed in the ground, it's covered by dirt. It's covered. It's in darkness, just like we was in triple darkness of our mother's womb. But over time, when you water it, put it in the right environment, the sun hitting it, you're taking care of it, you're keeping the animals or whatever that would destroy the vegetation away, then you will see a great product come into existence. So we got to do the same thing with our business. Our business is like a baby. Now watch this. How many of y'all mothers, you had that one person in your delivery room and they was getting on your nerves, you told them to get out. Just get out. I don't need them in the room. Well, you don't want to tell everybody about your business. Some things you want to keep hidden because you only want those who going to hold your hand, bring that ice. You know, women, y'all taste buds be out. You want ice one time, then you want some Thanksgiving food, then you want some vegetables. It be off a little bit. So you want people in the room that's going to support you, that's going to hold your hand, that's going to console you and things of that nature. But I don't always have to put it out there if I'm not confident yet. You know why? Because when I have that baby and I'm pregnant, now the first month I can hide it. That second month she might be able to hide it. But once you develop that thing in darkness, after a while, even if you don't want nobody to know, somebody going to see you got a little bump up under there. So eventually God is going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger the more that you develop it over time. So don't worry about, oh, it's not exposed yet. I haven't hit my millions of dollars yet. I haven't hit my millions of views yet. It may not be ready. Because I done had some watermelon that came out a little earlier and it wasn't sweet. It wasn't good. And microwave food, you can do it real quick, but it don't last. Yeah, they say, yeah, you have all kind of little, it takes the nutrients away from the food when you put it in the microwave. Now, the oven may take a little longer, but it's going to be better for me, right? So don't worry about not being able to blow up in the first week. Make sure that you develop first and you ready before you expose. So let's find a problem. What is a problem that I can solve? Write that down. What problem can I solve with my gift? What problem can I solve with my gift? Step 2, use your gift to create the solution. If you're a great speaker, like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he has solved many problems by just speaking. By just speaking. He says, you know that there's power in the word because it was the word that got you to change. If you're a photographer, you need to be the best photographer. And listen, don't be ashamed of your gift either. I done hired some people, they want to act like they ain't really a photographer. They doing it like this here, filming, don't want nobody to know. I need you to be up in there. I need you to be up in there looking like this here. See, you can't, if you're going to do something, go on and do it. Be the best photographer. I'm going to get you from this angle, I'm going to get you from up top. We got to believe in ourselves, man. Some of us, it's not that somebody else is not supporting us. We're not supporting ourselves. You doubted yourself. You had negative words to say to yourself before mama did, before daddy did, before your friends did. So we get online and making these posts about my friends don't support me. No, you need to put your face up there and say, I don't support me. Because as long as I support me, I don't care if you disagree, mama disagree, daddy disagree. As long as it line up with God's will, we're going to take this thing to the moon. And that's the type of level of conviction that you got to have for your business, for your product, for your service, and make them a believer. It says, make all men and boys join the FOI, don't it? Now, does that mean get your brother, you better join the FOI. Put him in a full Nelson? That ain't what that means. It means by our example, by those teachings showing how we can change and elevate our life. That's what make them do it. What do you think make them want to be rappers and basketball players? Whenever I go speak at a school, they say, man, what do you want to be? We know they're going to want to be a rapper or a basketball player or a football player, something with sports, right? We think that's a coincidence? Because they put in front of them, this is what it looks like. This is where you get a lot of money. This is where you do this. And then we say, get a job. So you can go to school, get good grades so you can get a good job. And they see you come in on Friday, happy. Woo, ain't got to go to work. Boy, 2 days off the plantation. Then Sunday come and you miserable. You don't think they see that? You don't think they see that whatever you in, you not even happy yourself, so how you going to tell me to come do it? So we got to make it look good. But don't fake it. Be good. So if that's not working for you, man, the job is not working. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a job. If you're on your job and you love it, that's where you want to be, cool. But strive to do something for yourself as well and make sure that it's in line with your purpose and your will so that you don't live your life regretting because we only got one. Oh, man, we only got one. Now, Drake was right about that with the YOLO. You only live once. You don't want to be on that deathbed, man, thinking, man, I could have did this. I could have said this. I could have lived this. When you got that ability right now to do it. How many people have we seen with regrets? Brother Neary said there's two ways to learn. You can learn from others or you can learn from yourself. I'm not trying to learn all my lessons by me doing it. I want to learn from y'all. 50 Cent done already got shot 59 times. I ain't got to get shot to know that it hurt. I seen the blood. I seen them wrapped up. We done heard of people that done went to prison and all that type of stuff. Why am I going to live that same lifestyle if they are? Here's my thing. We see Tookie Williams. We see people who was really gang members and all this change their life in prison to do better for the youth. Why we got to go all the way and do the same thing just to see, you know what, maybe I should start off being positive now instead of waiting, because everybody that go in, they eventually change. They eventually get their mind together. Let me go and get my mind together now. So learn from others. Step 3, unite with those like-minded to handle what you don't. I don't like customer service. I do it here and again, but my wife, she gonna give you now she don't cuss you out, but she gonna get you good with the customer. So she gonna make you feel bad for writing that email. No, thank you for contacting us. I noticed that you said that we were trying to scam you, but we noticed that you actually put your email in incorrectly. So if you don't mind looking at this screenshot, it's actually your fault, not ours. Now, if she had you not want to write now other email. But I ain't good at that. I might not even respond. I don't know. I ain't going to not respond. I may respond with a little aggression. But it's something that you don't like to do. If you write books, my wife, she packages up the books. She going to have it all organized, got my logo on it and everything. I would have just sit that thing in a brown paper bag, as long as you got your book. So find you someone and find you a team that do things that you're not good at, because, again, we don't have to do everything in our community. I don't have to have a tax business. I don't have to have a restaurant. I don't got to have a school. If brother got a school, my children are going to his school. If I got a marketing company, he going to shop with me. We're going to shop with him. And we're going to make this thing work by circulating the dollar, because I don't have to do everything myself. And it don't got to be like the white man. Y'all heard what the minister just said. The school can be in the room. The school can be in the garage, long as we get an education. So let's focus on the principle, not focus on how grand it look. Like I got a school, as long as you learn it online, don't they got online colleges? So if you learning from me online and people getting results, well, I got a university. I don't care if the white man acknowledge it or not. So give us 6 to 8 like-minded individuals. Do for self or suffer the consequences. This is a message to the black man. Step number 4, develop a system to scale beyond your physical labor. Let's look at systems. Save yourself time, energy, and money. That's what the white man did with slavery. He put us in we are literally still in a system. So we get mad at one white man. See, J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah, you can point one out. But now if we eliminate him or eliminate somebody else and put somebody else in, they know he's still finna adhere to my system, so you're going to get the same result. I don't like this teacher. Fire the teacher, put another teacher in. But she's coming into our system, so what we want them to know is still coming from us. So develop a system. So now what they used to do in slavery, take our name, they chained us up. They'll take our name. This is Johnson. This is Jones. This is Smith. This is petty. Why? Why did they do that? To identify what? Ownership. Then here I am. Smith Enterprises. The slave master name. So this is why when we come into the Nation of Islam, we get the X. X stands for unknown. And I read that too is a holy name. I'm proud of my X. I'm not going out in the business world. Well, in the business world, I'm going to put my slave name because, I don't want nobody. No, brother, being X. And say it loud with your chest up. Head up. Chest out. Because if I'm gonna be known for the work that I'm doing, I don't want Smith to get the credit, Jones to get the credit, the slave master's name to get the credit. But look at how we still do it today. So now we name the children. They got a school system, we put them in a school system. I heard they used to force us to eat certain food that we call soul food. Now we cook it on holidays. Here you go, baby. Y'all seen Roots? When he wanted to throw that, he didn't want to eat the pork and all that. Now we tear them chitlins up. I ain't no judge, man. I just put that hot sauce on my chitlins, man, and eat it with black eyed peas, and go to the little donut shop and get them kolaches with the pig in the blanket. Look at the Muslims that been Muslims all their life. What? I seen a sister give me an eye, boy. Look. The minister says, if you don't keep up to date with the technology of the world, you will be left behind. So I want to get to this last. Now you should have your expenses together, asset, what you need to change. You should know what your gift is, and if you don't know, you should be thinking about it. Now we need to think about, how do I tie that in with what the minister is saying here? If we don't keep up to date with the technology of the world, you will be left behind. Now, what y'all think about this picture right here? Cool picture, ain't it? What y'all think about it? Does it look nice? I made that in less than 5 minutes. I made this picture in less than 5 minutes. How did you do that? Technology. There's an AI that's called Midjourney. And literally, I can type in what I want to imagine, what I want to see, and it produces an image like this. And I'm saying 5, really in less than probably 2 minutes. There is a technology called, and I want y'all to write these down, ChatGPT. It can literally create, you can ask it something, and it's going to give you an answer like a human being in less than 3 minutes. I'm going to give y'all a demonstration at the end. I'm going to give y'all a demonstration at the end of how this chat, you can ask this thing to write me a business plan about such and so and so, and it'll literally write a business plan. Y'all know what copy is when it comes to business? What copy is? Copy is like persuasive language that's on the website. So the language, when you land on the landing page, are you tired of being this? Are you tired of being this? Whether you get this benefit, this, that's the copy, the persuasive language that y'all see on Facebook ads or website. You can say, write me website copy for my new skincare business, for my new self-defense business, and it literally will write out the entire copy for you. If you want to do a whole email sequence and do 3 days of an email sequence, you can say, write me an email sequence about the beauty of the bean pie, and that thing gonna write it out. I'm gonna show y'all. Now, here's where we're gonna get into some demonstration. Raise your hand, and this is the chance to get some help. Who's having a problem reaching their destination with their business? Raise your hand. Now, I noticed a lot of people got their hands down. Some of y'all said 25,000. Some of y'all in your head said 7,000, and you ain't there yet. So, who's having a problem reaching their destination? Raise your hand. Okay, let me see. Keep your hands up. Okay, sister right here. Now, what's your business? Where do you want to go with this business? What is it? You cut? You do table fades? No, just cosmetology, what is that? And your goal is to do what? You want to travel with your business, okay? right, let's look. And what's stopping you from traveling with your business? Like, is it you need more clients? You need, like, what's stopping you from getting that goal? But you're not there yet, right? Okay, so where are you at right now? Taking clients at home. And you taking clients at home right now, but what do you, like, what's your dream life? What does that look like? Got it. So taking, you home base, taking clients at home. Okay. And your goal is to be someone's personal stylist that you ain't got to work with a whole bunch of clients. You just got certain focused clients that you deal with. You can travel with them and you just work with them. All right. Now, why haven't you been able to do that yet? Okay, stop right there. Haven't reached out as much as I can. What's your thought process of why you haven't reached out as much as you can? Your real thought. And how long you been doing that? 3 years. Okay. And so how do you feel? So you in a position where you don't want to just be home based, you want to have clients and things of that nature. So your thought process is, I can be better, I can be more improved before I get to my dream. So this is making you feel what right now? You feel what? You feel complacent. Okay. And by you feeling complacent, that leads you to, like, these feelings, these thoughts, what action do you or not take by having these thoughts and these feelings? So you just do what? Because I feel like I can be better, I can be more improved, I feel complacent. So your actions have been what? Explain. Taking what you can. Okay. Now, by you having these thoughts of I can just be better, I can be more improved, I feel complacent, so I taking what I can, that results to what? And no, what's the result of the business now? So yeah, it's more complacent, but what? Is it bringing in more money, or is it staying the same, or is it going down? Like, what's the result now of these series of things? So the money complacent. Not growing. Could we say that it's not growing? All right. Now, the scripture said what? Be ye what? Be ye transformed by the renewing of our mind. So what we want to do here is try to see if we can change her thoughts so we can change the life, okay? So you still home base, right? And there's a book called Secrets to a Millionaire Mind. I will get that book. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, that's where I got, that's the book I was quoting when I said if you want to change the fruit, you got to change the root. And it says that our thoughts leads to our feelings leads to our actions, and our actions is what gives us our results. All right, so you home base. Say it out loud. T. Harv. He said Steve Harvey. All right, home base. Taking Klein. All right. Now, your thought. Now, how long you been doing your cosmetology? And when you want to this personal stylist you want to be for people, that's just doing their hair. So you're not that good at makeup or something, right? Are you good at nails? Are you good at hair? Okay. All right. So you are good. So this thought of I can be better, I can be more improved, what can we change this to? Because your best stylists, I'm sure, are also going to say I can be better. The best speaker probably going to say I can be a little bit better with my speech. The best driver say, man, I can, stop driving with my knees a little bit. So what can we change this thought to? Instead of saying I can be better, I can be improved, more improved, that's why I haven't been reaching out to people, what can you say? Do you need a license? You got one? You got one. You passed. So what can we change this to? Because you keep saying I can be better, I can be more improved. What can we change this thought to? Do you feel like you unqualified? Did you cheat to pass the test? So do you feel like you qualified? So what if we change it to I am qualified, right? What else? Is your work good? You believe your work is good? My work is good. Okay, what else? Oh, the more energy I put in it, the what? The better outcome? Good. Now, how does that make you feel to be able to say that? I am qualified. My work is good. The more energy I put in, the better outcome. Now, that make you feel like what? Oh, empowered. Wow. Okay. Let's look at this. Now she's feeling empowered. Empowered to do what, though? See, that sounds good, but empowered to do what? Because now that you feel empowered, now what's the action? Because our goal is to go get clients, reach out to clients, show them my work, do whatever I got to do to get this. I used to feel this way, but now I feel like I'm qualified. Now my work is good. Now the more energy I put into it, the better outcome. I feel empowered. Now what action do you need to take to get to that result? And I want you to think it. Think what we already hit feeling. You feel empowered. So I think. What action to get to this result? I think. Don't feel it, think it. You feel empowered. I think. I think. Okay, now when you say rebrand better, by doing what? How you gonna rebrand better? You gonna post more times a day or something? What you gonna do? How you gonna rebrand better? There we go. Definitely posting more. Post more. Okay. Why do you do so much? Mm-hmm. So you're gonna post more about, because what's your goal? To do what? To become someone's personal. So you're gonna post more about what? You're gonna post more about being an all-in-one stylist. Okay. And as you post more about being an all-in-one stylist, now that you feel empowered and you know that you qualify, you also gonna do what? Because you said earlier, I don't really reach out to people because I feel like, so now you feel empowered, you said, okay? Now you qualified. Now you know your work is good. Now you're going to also do what? As you post online, you're going to do what? Ooh, good God. So look at this. We don't went from, I can be better, I can be more improved, to I am qualified. My work is good. The more energy I put in, the better outcome. First, with that thought process, the first one, you felt complacent. But now you feel empowered. Now, that complacency and that thought process that you had at first, you just took what you could. But now you say, I'm going to post more about being an all-in-one stylist, and you going to take action and the initiative to reach out to local people around. Now, your first result was not growing. Now, by you feeling empowered, posting more, and reaching out because now you know you qualified, what do you think your result will be then? Local clients that will call when they need. There it is. You have been transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now when you leave, all you have to do now is post more. Keep the thought process of I'm qualified. Now those old thoughts going to come up. I don't know, I can be better. But every time they come up, chop them up, delete it, Control Alt delete it, and replace it with I am qualified. You got your license. Your work is good, and the more energy I put in, the better the outcome. You're going to continue to feel empowered. That'll encourage you to continue to post, and the more people you reach out to, once you get that first client, you're going to say, man, I did it. And that's going to give you the confidence to go get another client, and another client, and another client. So hopefully that will help you out. All right. Now, let me go to this real quick. Now, this right here, do you have a business plan? Do you have a website that kind of promotes you being a stylist? Right? So maybe you need to write that down. So let's write that down. We got a website somewhere where people can come visit, see my work. Maybe have some testimonials, some pictures of your work on your Instagram. Make it look good with pictures. Now watch this. Now you said you don't have a business plan, right, with this? We're going to see if we can get this to create you a business plan real quick. I don't know my password. All right, now, this is where y'all can ask me questions. We're going to ask the chat GPT thing and see how this thing works and see how we can use technology. Come on, it's me. All right. Now you're gonna have to help me out with how to spell cosmetology. Obviously that ain't my lane. Okay, write me a business plan to share with others for my, how you spell it? Yeah, I can type, but I can't spell it good. COSMETOLOGY. See, you're supposed to find someone that they strength help out your weaknesses. See, give it up for her. She gonna get me right when it comes to that spelling. Okay, write me a business plan to share with others for my cosmetology business. And what do? Which I provide services such as, give me some services. Nails, hair, and makeup. Now, what's the name of the business? And the name of my business is Adore Artistry. All right, now let's see what this thing create now. Boom. Woo. Look at that. Look, giving you a marketing strategy. Look at that. Operations plan. So in today's time, this is why keeping up with modern technology is important. So instead of me thinking, how do I write a business plan, I need to think about what type of business plan do I have and let the AI do the work. So when I created that image that I just showed you, I don't have to know how to draw. Now, I know a lot of artists are going to be upset with that. However, if I know what to say to the AI, it'll produce what I need. So we're going to look at that. So down, look at that. Boom. Yeah. Mid-Journey. Yeah. So look at this. New chat. Write an email. Who's your target audience? What kind of women? All women, black women, Asian women, white women, or just what? Okay. Yeah, so you target 1-year-olds? Okay, so who's your target audience? What do you do for men? You cut her? Oh, you really do cut, okay. Write an email for women. Let's just start with women. Write an email to women. Okay. All right, write an email to women promoting my new, how you spell cosmetology again? Cosmetology business where I offer what type of nails? How would you just offer nails, or how do you say it? Where I offer that's not what I'm looking for. Like, what do you do? I offer hairstyle, manicure. There we go. Is that how you spell it? Nope. Manicures, pedicure. How you spell pedicures? Hairstyles. And that's it? And makeup, right? And makeup. let them know that I am looking to be their personal stylist, where they don't have to go to anyone else. Also, no, I ain't gonna put that. Okay, let's see what it say. Now it's about to write you an email. Boom. So, as you can see, it done wrote your whole email. Now, you may not have a salon, but you would change that. Giving my blank business, personal business, at-home business a chance, blah, blah, blah. But you literally can get you a whole email written in less than 2 seconds. So, last thing that we'll do, write a social media plan for a cause. Oops, it'll correct it. So now you got your whole plan put together. All right. So as I close, we're going to see how far this can go. Now, that's on the business side. Now, I tried this the other day. This thing can write a lecture, Brother Rodney. Write a message. Write a message to Philly, to black people in Philly, about the importance of doing for self and starting businesses so they are not drowned in debt, working jobs they don't like. Watch this. Quote the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan 3 times. Let's see what it say. Dear fellow Philadelphians, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan once said, if we don't do for ourselves, nobody else would do it for us. This is a powerful reminder of the importance of taking control of our own lives and our own futures. One way to do this is by starting our own businesses and being our own bosses. By starting a business, we have the opportunity to create our own paths and achieve financial independence. We can also be role models for our community, showing that it is possible to succeed on our own terms. As Minister Farrakhan also said, we can't have a job and be free. A job will make you a slave to someone else's dream. Don't be trapped in a job like you don't like, or that doesn't give you the freedom and fulfillment that you deserve. Take charge of your own destiny by starting your own business. Finally, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stated, if we're going to be part of the solution, we have to be willing to do for ourselves what others will not do for us. This means that we must be willing to put in the hard work and dedication needed to make our businesses succeed. It won't be easy, but the rewards will be worth it. In conclusion, let's embrace the message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and do for ourselves by starting our own businesses. This is a powerful way to take control of our lives, achieve financial independence, and be role models in our community. Give it up for Brother AIX. So I hope, man, this was an educational presentation. I hope I was able to spark the God in somebody, and if I did, all praise is due to Allah. Assalamu alaikum.
Come on now, let's do it. Brother Ben X, did you learn something? So you got out the back seat of your life and you're on the steering wheel now, ain't you? You know where you're going, you're going to take yourself there. You got steps and things. And so, this has been a blessed day. And a lot of times we just need it sounds technical, but look, those little points, you take them things home and start working with it. It's like a seed. And I think one of the most important things, he talked about the steal away. And I was the minister's secretary. I had to go around the country with that as the national secretary, pushing the Steal Away program. And if we're on jobs, I'm gonna tell you another reason we gotta do something, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we gotta build up against the day of want. There's a day coming on this land. And if we do like Joseph and others in the scripture, he knew it was coming, but it didn't stop them from doing something like what he showed us today, so they could be ready when a day like that came. So I don't know if you know it, if you've been to seminars and some of these little fancy hotels, convention rooms and things, some of these people charge $295, $495, all of that. We sit here, we didn't have to pay a nickel, but I'm going to ask for your help today. And we're going to just pass the receptacles. We have some things for sale, but if you got $50 or $100, if you can afford to write a check or do something with your debit card, we're asking you to bless us today, because I know we were blessed. I'm listening to what he shared with us. You'll be able to take this and it's life-transforming material that he shared with us today. So if you can do that, who will give $50 today? Will it somebody? There's William Hart's son. There's Sister Pamela's son right there. All praises due to Allah. He'll give $50. Is there anybody else that'll do that? You can make a check out to there. Our sister is doing it right there. There's another 50. Tell them to make the check out to Muhammad's Mosque, number 12. Who else will do that? Yeah, if you got debit cards, we can take all of that, but we're going to pass the receptacles for the rest of it. Let's get 20, let's get 10 out, let's get something, but let's do something for ourselves today. Man, let me tell you something. By this time next year, we in 2023, right? So we ain't even talking about 2024. All this supposed to happen, if I got it right, what? Right, right down to the modern time. I mean, I didn't know that you could type something in. What's going on there? Sister Agnes? $50, sister. Give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. See, they appreciate this. You actually can go to somebody else and just zip, get that business plan and look at it. Do they have to tweak it any when they get it, or it's right on there? If you have the right questions, you get out. So AI brings you out what you need. And listen, we not finished. We're going to get busy tomorrow. I'm always reading these little posts about how much money the churches and everybody is putting in these banks, and these banks is running off with our money. What about having a service where we can talk about how we can benefit? Just because we're in worship service, and that don't mean we're supposed to come out broke and poor. We're going to continue on tomorrow, so we're asking you to come on back out. We're asking you to tell someone. But he said what I have been saying to people, all these meetings going on around the city, they bring in young folks in there. They should have been here tonight. And everyone that's got them little rowdy nephews and grandchildren and everything, you should have had them all up in here tonight. Because they're all out in the street talking about making money and don't have a clue how to make it. All they can think about is taking something from somebody else, and that's because somebody's planting that seed in them, And one of the real reasons that I wanted this brother here was to show people that you don't have to be a criminal to make money, And I've seen people. I've been in these prisons. I chair the prison board here, and I sit down with young people and old people. And if you in jail any length of time, most time your mind changes. And you want to be a crusader for the community, and you want to give back because you was a villain and a menace to the society when they put you in. Why not just go on and be a crusader now and don't even go to jail, you know? And it's sad because we have young men in there. I sit with them in school and they really learning, and the teachers are telling me this is the most attention these young men got in their whole life. So they've been ignored out here. Anybody, I know I don't have a lot of old schoolers in here. I think this is the 70s though. The record came out. Seemed like, it ain't like that, but it seemed like I got to do wrong before they notice me. Anybody remember that, man? Is that the Whispers? That's the Whispers. So that's right here from Philly, see? And you trying to go along in life, nobody's paying attention to you. You can't scream and get no attention, so you end up doing something. Now you got everybody's attention. And we got 200 people out at the average funeral, and we can't find none of them 200 people while the person was alive on the wrong track. You know, a train wreck waiting to happen. We need them 200 people involved in these people's lives before they end up in the morgue and the cemetery, okay? So did we do our collection? So let's give him another round of applause. Brother Ben X, man, he shared some stuff with us. Yeah. We don't have a lot of questions, do we? I know it's been a long day for some of us, but we got a question over here. Come on up. Our brother right there.
Go ahead. Yes, you should. Yeah. Anybody else got a question? I don't want to leave without getting a Q&A in. Go ahead. There's one called Pictory AI that helps you. If you put in certain audio, it will literally generate video content for you. It'll be stock footage, so you had to change it. Like they got a lot of white folks, so I changing to black people. Pictory AI, I use Mid-Journey AI to create my photos and my pictures, and then that Chat GPT right now is off the chain. So those are the ones that I'm using. Go ahead. Here at the Farms is a project. Brother Farrakhan Ali, he was doing something with the 100 Acre Project. And with the 100 Acre Project, he was getting people together to buy land. And so I thought that coming together with what I teach with digital real estate, with the marketing, would be able to help with what he was striving to do, would get people to buy land. So I came together and was able to market the project through what I know of content marketing. And he pretty much handles the land and getting people together to buy. And you can email hereatthefarms@gmail.com if you guys are interested in learning more from him on the land project. Yeah, anybody who's in, like right now, well, I ain't gonna say it. There's a lot of money coming in passively right now that I'm making passively without having to make any post market. So if you guys are interested in that, I got cards. I can give you my card. Just text me your name and we can hop on Zoom call one-on-one, and I can show y'all if y'all interested in the program that I'm in that's helping me get passive income. So I got some books, I believe, that's back there in the back. So they right here, but they'll be up there, I think, somewhere. So if you guys want to get a book, my book is called Kun Fire Kun, which simply means be and it is. And it talks about my journey of how I've literally set goals for myself and was able to accomplish them in front of everybody, because I posted like on social media, I want to make $25,000 a month. Then I actually go do it in real time. So it has steps, ways that you can think, things to write down for your own dreams, for your own self, and bring it into existence. But I'll give you my card back there. Anybody else? Yep, that's what we'll talk about. Yep. She said, how do you remain humble and grounded as I guess we grow in success? Because knowing that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the teachings. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people. Like, it's one thing to think that you somebody because you're making a lot of money or you got a lot of status, but if the people didn't buy, I wouldn't have anything. If the people didn't support, I wouldn't have anything. Before I joined the Nation of Islam, I was just a basketball player. I was an All-American basketball player. I was good, but I wasn't Brother Ben X that's known all over the world by millions of people today. So just remembering that it's Allah that's at the root of our success. And as I see the example of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who's 100 times greater than me, in my opinion, to see him still be humble, to see him walk the earth in humility and remind us of how great we are. He's always striving to lift someone else up, not just himself. So that's what helps me. And so when I'm down, as somebody said yesterday, which I should have said yesterday too, like there's been times when I've been down and I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's that testimonial from someone that reminds me of, you know, the impact that I'm having. And I wouldn't be able to have that impact or that wisdom without studying the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I wouldn't have a lot of wisdom to say, you know, so that's what keeps me humble. Anybody else?
What are the greatest tools we can use in this digital age that we can also allow ourselves to be free within the system that we're currently living in and learn how to balance that so that we don't get consumed by the digital age, but at the same time we can utilize it again to other land projects and things of that nature.
I think what would keep us on track is really knowing what that destination is. Because it's like this. When I put that address in Siri, sometimes, well, I'll say this. Anybody ever had your Siri and it's saying, turn left, turn right, and it get on your nerves and you got to turn the audio off? I think that's how it is in life with the self-accusing spirit. I call it the spiritual GPS. So sometimes when you are driving, you want to turn it off and you think you got it. But all times we check and see, am I still on track? Well, sometimes we go so long, and because we turned the volume off of it, we can't hear it no more. So when you're trying to get to your destination, as long as you have that reminder of where you're trying to go, I think that will allow us to stay balanced with not getting too consumed. But when we don't have that spiritual GPS, when we don't know where we're going, it'll be very easy to get consumed. So I would say it's the way to stay balanced is by knowing exactly where you go or where you want to go. And remember, we're only using that to get to where we want to go. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said when Allah has a will, he considers the plans of Satan in that plan or in his will so that when they make their move, it still brings about the fruition of his will. So we got to think the same way. So some people are afraid of AI coming. I'm not. Some people are afraid of, oh, man, they're going to take away jobs. Well, just update the type of job that you do. Just update your level of thinking, update your field. But if we're trying to thrive in modern times with an old mindset, we will be left behind, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said. So my mission is to give life to the dead. That's my mission. If I got to use AI to do a picture in 2 minutes that's going to bring imagery, I'm going to use it. If it's going to take, if I can use some music or something that's made by AI, I'm going to use it. I'm not afraid of it taking away jobs. Like learn how to program them, learn about tech, you know, learn about how to use it for the benefit. So like there may be a time where as an entrepreneur, I got to hire 3 people, 4 people. Well, that technology may take me one person or one technology to do it now. Now I can save me some money. Now, what about the person who lost a job? Well, I say this. If I'm an artist and I write and I really know how to draw, when I do the technology or draw that picture that y'all seen today, I can't put my personalized face on there. It's going to give me an AI generated face. So right now I'm looking for an artist that can take my images or my imaginations that it's producing for me and personalize it and put my face on it or your face on it. So there's still value in drawing. You just need to update what you're drawing for. I don't personally need you to draw me an entire picture anymore. I just need you to draw me that face because I want to put my face on it or this person's face on it. And you still can make thousands of dollars by just doing that. So being able to stay conscious of where the world is going and, like you say, not getting too consumed, you'll be able to do that by focusing on your destination and looking down at your GPS here and again to make sure you're still on track. Because I don't think there's nothing wrong with technology. I personally don't. Social media, some people say it's like the force within. If you lean towards and submit to God, you're going to get more good. If you lean towards the lower self or that devil within yourself, you're going to get more bad. So I look at social media like a dollar. Nothing's wrong with money. So when people say money is the root of all evil, money ain't did nothing to you. It's the love of it and the person that's using the money and the person that's going after the money that makes it either evil or bad. So if I'm using social media for good, it's going to be good. Like people scared of the metaverse. Oh, they're going to take us up into the metaverse. Oh, it's going to take us away from nature. You just said this on Instagram. No, y'all didn't catch what I'm saying. It's going to take us away from nature. It's going to take us away from you typing this on Facebook. So when I build in the metaverse, I got the first Muhammad temple up there. So when you come into my metaverse, you hear the minister coming out of the building that I created up there. So wherever I go, I just take the teachings with me. Anybody else? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said your purpose is or gift is whatever you love to do most and what you do best. He said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that. And as we strive to live a righteous life, we'll discover our gift in doing that. But all times I think what holds us back is lack of confidence in the thoughts that we have. I was talking about this yesterday. Your gift may be singing. And when somebody say, oh, boy, you can sure sing, first thing we say, oh, man, I'm all right. You know, I do a little something. Why don't we say, man, thank you, praise be to Allah, and acknowledge it and accept that I do have a gift. So sometimes our gift is that which is so second nature to us, we don't know that it is my gift. So what is that one thing that you do best, and not just what you do best that benefits you, but that benefits humanity? When I make a video, the video benefits millions of people. I have a gift of being able to put something together and relay knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in a creative way. That's my gift. But I found that by actually doing different things, and I discovered there's a feeling that I have to where it's like a confirmation from within. I will stay up late at night. It gives me energy at night to stay up doing it, and I wake up early in the morning for it. So what is that thing that what is the gift God has already given you? When I take that gift and I unwrap it, I give that gift to other people. So what gift has God already given you that you didn't have to pay for? I'll put it that way. Because all times a gift, if somebody bring us a Christmas gift and put it on the tree and say, now just cash app it $9.99, you're going to say, man, that ain't no gift. But God has already given us skills that we ain't even got to do a lot of work for. If we got to work for it, that's probably a skill. That's probably a talent. See, basketball, that's my talent. I had to work in the gym to do my layups good and shoot good and dribble good. But it's some stuff, man, that you just naturally do and you already good at. And sometimes you probably got to ask somebody on the outside what your gift is, and they can better tell you, because inside we chop ourselves up so much. You ain't that good. It ain't that. Before we even start businesses, sometimes we saying they ain't going to buy it. They ain't going to support, but we haven't even put it out yet. So whatever you love to do most and what you do best is most likely your gift. Walaikum salam. He asking what is the routine on a day-to-day basis. Man, every day I have to post a video. I'm admit it, I'm addicted. I'm so addicted, my phone can be over there in the room and my thigh vibrate. Hey, that's a flaw. But every day I'm consistently doing it. The brother inboxed me the other day and said, other month. He said, man, you used to post 100 times a week, and you was only getting 10 to 20 posts. 10 to 20 likes. It's some people that don't have 100 posts right now, but they want more people to support their business. So on a daily basis, I am studying the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan through videos. Like, I learn through videos. I'm not really a reader. I know the Quran say read, but I'm reading through my mind. And I read, but I read for specific things. Like, I'm not one who read cover to cover. I'll read chapter 7 because in my life I'm dealing with this, so I need to read chapter 7 that deals with this. When I go to bed, I'm either listening to the minister on this channel that plays in 24/7. I'm listening to him going to bed, or if I get up early in the morning, I turn them on in the morning so I consciously can hear him. So that is what allows me to remember a lot of the minister's teachings and the lectures, where it is. Sometimes I know the exact suit he had on, the exact bow tie, things of that nature, and I'm constantly looking at problems on social media. So like the more, like I'm looking at what people tweet about. So I follow Shade Room. I follow all the so-called ratchet sites, not just to be wallowing in filth, but I want to see what's going on and what people tuned into, so that it allows me to it gives me ideas to create teachings in a way that's going to be appealing to people. So I do that. I try to make phone calls on a daily basis, because all times we want the business that comes to us, but that comes after you've built the brand. If a million people not checking for me yet, it's a billion people on the planet, and I don't have 100,000 people looking for me. I don't got 100,000 people liking it. That means I still got some work to do. So on a daily basis, I'm calling people. I'm asking people about, their needs. I'm doing consultations. I'm getting on Zoom calls with people and seeing what they need and offering them products and services. And so my daily routine is that, thinking about how can I forward the teachings in some type of way, whether it's through music, some type of creativity, a direct post from the minister, and that helps me as I'm helping the world. So as I'm going to find a clip for y'all from what I'm seeing on social media or what I'm going through, I'm finding a clip and I'm listening to the lecture, and I got to edit it and clip it up. So it's going into me too. So it's helping me at the same time. And yeah, that's pretty much my routine. I don't have like a get up at 5 and get up at 3 or get up at 12 and do some. It's just I do the same thing over and over again so much. It has just became a habit of my life, and it's what brings about the result. Anybody else? It's called Chat GPT. So when you Google Chat GPT, it's going to open up. You log in with your email, and you literally just type whatever you want in, and it'll print it out for you. I had it defend the minister against the ADL and everything. Yeah, it's free. Chat GPT is free. But so here's what I would say about AI. You have to know, I think it's something else that we have to study today. We have to study what to put in it. Like those images, you have to know certain photography, like 50 millimeter. Only a photographer will know what that means. That's the lens. If the background gonna be blurred, super realistic photo. Like you have to study that versus studying how to draw today, because somebody can draw the same thing you just drew, produce what you just drew in 2 minutes. So if I put the right prompts in that tells the AI what to do, then I get the set result that I want. So that's what I would say we need to study. And I think school eventually will go to that. Like it won't be having to study. I think school is like remembering things. Read this, remember it, and write what you put on write what I told you to remember on the test. I think in the future it's going to be studying, and they're going to be tested on certain prompts to put into these devices that helps them with life. Because like calculators, I think we should just learn how to use calculators. Yeah, you can teach me math, I can draw, but when I get in the real world, I'm going to use a calculator. But as many people today don't even know all that calculators can do, because they wasn't taught how to use the technology. They was taught by how to carry the one and all that, but we're not carrying the one for our bills. Now, some people are. I know some old people probably saying, I still do mine, but you don't have to today. So we have technology that does things faster. Why are we going the old and slow route? I thought we was quick moving, fast thinking, right down to the modern times. So get down to the modern time. Any more questions? Man, I think all of that is important. All of those are things I don't necessarily handle, but I find when I find my gift, I find other people that know that's important, and they study it, and I have them do that. So like I got this sister who is CPA, like, I don't know how she do it. She don't even charge me. It's weird. She said, you have brought so much impact to the earth, like she won't even let me pay her. But when I do the numbers, when I look at all them numbers and all them transactions, she just be like, okay, what is this for? What is this for? Why did you do this? Okay, good. And that's it. And it's like, man, I would have took me a week to put these taxes and all this stuff together. So finding someone who knows about taxes, finding someone who knows about consumer law, finding someone who knows about asset protection, finding someone who knows about banks, life insurance, all those things I think is all very important. I would say know it enough to where you know what's going on, but you don't have to know all the intricate details per se, because you're going to wear yourself out trying to learn everything. I think with financial literacy, there are some key things that you need to know about, like, taxes, LLC, the way that you have your business set up, how it's going to affect you in taxes, knowing the difference between a contractor and employee, those type of things, the basics, and then finding somebody on the team that can be like maybe a CFO or a COO that handles those type of things. Not saying stop what you're doing, stop your learning process, but I will say, like for me, it hasn't worked out always because I've been in positions where people have taken advantage of me being naive. But what I do now is, okay, you tell me this, I trust you, but then let me go check it. It's easy for me to research me checking it versus me trying to figure out everything. And I haven't even started a business because I'm saying I don't understand all this stuff when there's millions of businesses thriving and they still don't understand a lot of stuff about business. So get you a mentor as well. A lot of people online, I'm going to tell you, they act like they are the mentor and the guru, but almost all of them have a mentor. Like I know pretty much all the top, or have met some of the top black entrepreneurs. They have a coach. They in a program, like a program where they paying $50,000 to tap into the mentor every quarter or something like that. That's how they're able to give you guys updated information and things of that nature. So make sure that you get a coach that can guide you, because they've already been through it. They've been through losing a business. They've been through losing assets. They've been through paying so much in taxes. And if they would have just did this ahead of time, so they can show you shortcuts on how to get there, not like going around what you're supposed to do shortcuts, but you don't, instead of you bumping your head, learning on your third year, get you a mentor that can say, you need to do this, you need to do this before you launch this. And if you listen, you will save yourself a lot of time. Mentorship, because I think you're going to always need mentorship. Always. I think we degrade that in our community because of like paying and maybe some pimps or whatever came in our community and misused the money. However, like you really need a mentor and somebody that you can go to for counsel. The scripture talks about the having many counselors around you and things of that nature, not leaning on your own understanding. Go ahead. In the past, what I've done is I just put myself out there and they came to me. It just gravitates to you, like when you figure out what your gift is. Like many people want to be inside of certain groups. Man, I want to be a part of that group. I want to be a part of that group, and not realizing that the people that's in that group saw the God in somebody else. And as they see the God in you, they need you. Because just like I'm saying, I don't do everything and I don't want to do everything, somebody else is saying the same thing. They're just looking for the right person to present themselves. They don't want somebody that's going, I can barely do it, I kind of do it. No, this is what I do, and I'm good at it. They want to collaborate with that person who's confident in themselves, they know themselves, and they know their mission. Because just how they've been clear about what they do, they want you to be clear about what you do. So when they combine it together, we can create a powerful company. But what I will say, look for people that have integrity. I'm not, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he teaches on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad testing him and testing other people. I would study that if you're trying to really unite with people, like not going around testing people like like you just a master tester, but be very mindful and observe how people respond to certain things. That'll tell you who your real partner is. And what I've come to find out is I don't have to test them. If I just strive to line my will up with God, God will put us in certain situations and test them for you. And you just be mindful enough to see how they respond to certain things, and you'll know who you're supposed to be with. Because a lot of money can be made, but when things go wrong, and in business things will go wrong, you want to have somebody that's going to have the same integrity that you have, because it can affect you if you don't document. Like I try to document everything. Yeah, you can say I did that. I got screenshots, I got video, I got all type of stuff to protect me, because I don't want to be in a position where somebody feels like my name is not worth anything, because your name is better than silver and gold. So make sure that you look at somebody's integrity. Sometimes I play dumb. I play dumb a lot of times. Like I don't know stuff just to see how people will respond and see what people say. So just do those type of things and look for character and integrity. That's what you really want. Not somebody who can make a whole bunch of money, because honestly, it's the character that can get you to the cash. It's the morals that can get you to the money. So if you just remember that, man, I think you'll be fine. Like network marketing, what I would say is, when networking, remember that the coin is in the fish's mouth. So when you're networking, a lot of time we push programs that are good programs, but we make it look like a scam because we focus on the money. Hey man, you can make $20 two days and $2,000. Like, you maybe can do that. But you didn't even ask me what my needs are. You didn't even ask me what my goals are. You didn't even ask me, am I interested in the money part or the service part? So when you come with a certain way where it seems like you forcing it on me, now that's kind of what pushes me away. But hey, can I get you on a call to share this opportunity with you? Simple. We hop on a Zoom call, and when you hop on a Zoom call, if you don't mind, I would like to learn more about you. You know I got this presentation, but I would like to learn more about what's some of the goals that you have. Because a program may have different components. You can make money here, or you can make, like I have a program where I can make money passively by helping people put their money to work. I can do that. I can help you do that by yourself. And there's a compensation plan part of it, network marketing part of it. So when I ask you, what's some of your goals? Well, my goal is to just learn how to, make some extra money. Okay, well, we have this product right here. Now, are you interested in, network marketing, anything? Oh, no, I'm not. No. Well, why am I going to tell her about this part or tell him about this part if that's not what they're interested in? Well, when I'm trying to force this stuff down your throat now, it's causing me to rebel. I heard the minister say something like that when it comes to Islam. In Islam, it says Allah will accept no religion besides Islam, right? Somebody say, well, why don't you tell them that when you go into the Christian church? Good question, right? Why don't he say, y'all need to join Islam or you're not going to be accepted? Well, the minister says, why am I going to waste time converting you over to something I already know you are? What is a Muslim? A Muslim is one by nature who submits their will to do the will of God. That's it. What is Islam? Islam is entire submission to do the will of God. So all I'm going to do is feed on the good, feed on the righteousness of you. If you call it Christianity, if you call it Hebrew Israelite, as long as you submit your will to do the will of God, I know what you are. So don't try to force it on people when you be a good example. That's another thing. Being an example. Don't tell me, I can help you make $20,000 in a month, and you only making $2,000 a month. So what I do, I done gave myself this nickname, Brother Mechanic. I open up the hood. So when I get you on a call, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm not here to force you. Choose whatever you want to do. I'm willing to show you my back office, how much I'm making, a month, a week, and you decide for yourself. But another thing that I would do is find you someone that you can add, a pool of people that you can add value to. People don't always want to be sold. Feed me something that I can use. So like, for example, I have a Telegram. In my Telegram, I may go live on YouTube and send it to them. Hey, y'all, I'm going live. I'm talking about finances. I'm talking about this. And at the end, I say, if you're interested, then you can join. I've had people that said, I'm not interested, Brother Ben. I don't know about that product. 6 weeks, I just did a live where I said how much I've made in a month. I think it was like 17,000 or something like that. Those same people hit me up and said, now what's that program you were talking about again? Because people want to see the results. Our people have been robbed. Our people have been scammed. Our people have lost money. So I don't know what's going to happen with this program next week or next month, but all I can do is just document and say, hey, here's the proof. The proof is in the pudding. You join, you join. If you don't, you don't. But find you a small group that you can feed. And remember, I learned this from George Fraser. I would study George Fraser if I was you, if you're trying to look into networking. He's very, very good with that. He says certain people, you use certain people to reach the people that you want. So if I know this brother here is a millionaire and I ain't got no relation to him, I shouldn't be the one approaching him. Maybe finding someone who's next to him, I can get them, and then they take the idea to him and they can convince him. He also said, don't ask for the wrong amount. I don't know how he put it. So basically, I'm going to put it this way. Don't go to a billionaire asking for $10,000. Don't go to a billionaire asking for $10,000. Go to a billionaire asking for $100,000 or $1 million or something. So if someone's in a position where they only making $20,000 or they only making $10,000, don't ask them for a $10,000 investment. You're asking the wrong person. Ask the right person the right amount. And so networking is about knowing who you're actually talking to. Like me, I've been able to build a team in 6 weeks that has brought in over $200,000 in 6 weeks, literally, in business volume. But it's because of when I bring one person in, I'm noticing who the star is. When you notice who the star is, then you tap them and you feed them a little bit more. So when you know in network marketing, you get paid in your downline, multi-level marketing, right? Well, if you find some who come in, they just want to do the product, that's cool, but you're going to find some who at every meeting, he's on every Zoom call, she's on every training, she's asking questions. Now that's the person you need to take a little bit more time to, and now let me call you and train you. Do you have any questions? And you duplicate yourself and you make leaders. When you duplicate yourself, that's really the key to network marketing. If you're good at marketing, make another you. Then make another you. Then make another you. And you will see the more people you impact, the more income will come.
All right. So we're going to have a prayer and close out. And we're going to invite you to be out with us tomorrow. Our meeting starts at 11 a.m. You're welcome to be here at our new location. We'll be on the second level tomorrow. So let's stand with me and let's close out. We've been really blessed today. With our heads bowed, let us pray. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee do we serve, thee do we beseech for aid. Guide us on the straight path, the path of those to whom thou hast bestowed favor, and not of those to whom wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray. Say, He, Allah, is one. Allah is He upon whom we all depend. He neither begets nor is He begotten, and there's none like Him. And I bear witness that none or nothing deserves to serve or be worshipped besides Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. We thank Him for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, His risen and exalted servant, and we thank Him for the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In their names we pray. Ameen. Thank you again, brothers and sisters. Oh yes. Now we have some of his books here. The book, the Kun Fire Kun book. And so you're welcome to come up if you want to purchase one of those. What's the cost of that one? $35 is hardback books. And you have the capacity. They got debit cards? Or? They got, now I have credit card? Okay. Oh, Cash App.